was the hothouse flowers, and now look what we have here. He was born in 1836, and he was fired by Car Magazine, fired by Autocar Magazine, fired by Scotland on Sunday, and somehow he managed to get fired by a Volvo dealership. Probably for driving too slowly. Ladies and gentlemen, James Bay!
Thank you, you're very kind. And, ladies and gentlemen, you probably can't see him from the back, but I assure you, he is here. He was fired by Radio York, fired by Radio Leeds, and fired by Radio Lancashire. It's Richard Hammond!
Hello! Thank you. And, ladies and gentlemen, over here, he's basically a shaved ape in a shirt. And he, technically, is the only one of us never to be fired by anyone. It's Jeremy Clarkson!
Thank you so much. And the good thing is, it's very unlikely I'm going to be fired now because we're on the internet. Which means I could pleasure a horse.
No.
Dog?
No pleasuring of any sort. There are families watching.
Yes. Anyway, we are all car journalists. And we have spent the last 20 years...
being fired.
Yes. But we have poured everything we know, everything we care about, into this show. All of that is going to be hosted from this. This is our new travelling studio tent. Thank you so much, and we're going to be roaming the world in it. We're going to be like gypsies, only the cars we drive are going to be insured.
Stop saying things that are going to get us fired.
Yes, but I'm just saying, it's brilliant. It is.
Oi! Who shot our drone?
Did someone shoot it?
Him.
Well, look, let's not get bogged down in who shot what, OK? Let's get changed, get on with the show.
Yeah, let's do it.
Shall we get on with the show?
Let's do it.
To the first ever Grand Tour. Thank you. Now, we hope you like our tent. We think the great thing is that because it roams around the world, we get a different view out of the big picture windows every week. So this week, obviously, we've got the high desert of California. Next week, who knows?
I do.
Well, yes, James, we know it's Johannesburg.
Well, now they know.
But I know they know now, doesn't matter. Point is, the view changes, and so does the audience, OK? I mean, this week, you're all Americans. Now, this is a bit of a problem for people like us who speak English. We can converse perfectly well in a shop or a restaurant, but when it comes to cars and motoring, every single word you use is different. When I say different, I mean wrong. When you change gear with a lever, what do you call that? Stick. Do you see, this is a stick. Couldn't change gear with this, it wouldn't work. What you can do with this is point at things, OK? Let's just see if we can get you educated. What do you call this bit of a car? Bonnet.
They're learning.
It's a... What do you mean? No, I know you can wear a bonnet on your head. It's two things. We're capable of having those different thoughts. Now, what type of vehicle is this? No, it's stupid.
Oh, no. Hang on.
It's stupid. Let's do another one of these. What type of vehicle is this? Coop. Coop is where you keep your chickens. That's a coupe. That's a French word, I admit.
Yeah, a bit.
And they're muddled with that. George Bush, you heard what he once said about the French? Said the trouble with the French is they have no word for entrepreneur.
It is difficult. I think the only thing we agree on is steering wheel.
Yeah.
But then they go and put it on the wrong side of the car.
It must be really annoying having to drive along like that all the time. I mean, why don't you just put it in front of the driver like we do?
Yeah.
It's probably a good idea if we get on with the actual show.
Yes, it is. But we had to clear all that up because, contrary to what some people have been saying, this actually is a car show.
Well, not next week, it isn't.
No, next week's an exception.
Yeah.
Or not when we go to Barbados.
No, Barbados is definitely another exception, but tonight couldn't be more car-y if it tried. And I'm going to prove that point because we're kicking off with this. Yes, I agree. The thing is, though, various supercar makers have now taken the sort of polar bear-friendly technology from a Prius and they're now using it to create raw, naked speed. Now, I say the best of these hybrid hypercars is the mad, swivel-eyed McLaren P1, whereas Richard Hammond, who's wrong...
I'm not wrong.
He is, because he says the best is actually the rather boring Porsche 918.
It's not boring.
Yes, it is.
It isn't. It isn't. Well, whatever, we decided to meet up with the cars and settle this once and for all.
When we arrived, mechanics from Porsche and McLaren pounced on our cars, fettling them for what was to come. And this meant Hammond and I had some time to indulge in a spot of childish point scoring.
Which one of these is going to be the fastest round this track? This.
Yeah.
Apart from this one, which will be faster.
It won't. Which one do you think will be the fastest?
There's one.
This
Okay,
one.
so Porsche think the Porsche will be fastest, McLaren say the McLaren.
How much is it if I wanted to buy one?
I think one was sold in an auction for 1.8 million.
$1.8 million. Hammond, how much is yours?
838 euros.
1,000, I'm guessing.
Yes, it is 1,000, yeah.
Why has your car got a number on the side?
It's the Weissach edition, this one. You also get titanium chassis bolts.
Stupid. Stupid.
For just an extra £60,000. And a carbon fibre bonnet strut. Look at that. How much does that save? About 100 grams. Right there. 100 grams.
Has the McLaren got a carbon fibre bonnet strut?
Doesn't need one.
No, because my bonnet doesn't go up because it'll never break down.
And it's got silly doors. Proper doors, silly doors.
Mine does 34 miles to the gallon.
It's just 94.
94 miles to the gallon.
94 mpg.
Just remind me, Porsche's owned by...
That'll be Volkswagen.
Well,
This is rubbish.
I was just thinking exactly the same about this.
Were you?
This was boring me to death. It was like being stuck in a Victorian woman's novel.
Well, I'd rather that than being stuck in a telephone box with a panicking gorilla.
Rubbish.
It was trying to kill me.
I
It was
know,
trying to hurt me. It wants to hurt me.
That's why I like it. This is a missionary position car.
Razor blade in the hands of a surgeon, sickle in the hands of a drunk peasant.
Downton Abbey, Breaking Bad. That's crystal meth, that's some iffy weed.
Fine wine, crate of Nuki Brown.
Schooner of sherry, absinthe.
James Bond, specifying his martini to be shaken, not stirred. Begsby in Train Spotting, lobbing a pint pot over his shoulder in a nightclub and starting a bar fight. What?
Hi.
What are you doing here?
I am here because, gentlemen, I have in the back of that lorry something that will make your McLaren and your Porsche look like lumps of yesteryear. remember the last time a car, or indeed any sort of thing, gave me a fizz like the Ferrari.
We could have played out there all day, but before we ended up in a £3 million crash, we decided to start the tests to see which of the cars was best. I came up with the first one, mainly to annoy gatecrasher May.
Let's make the first test a drag race using electrical power only.
Good idea.
No, it isn't a good idea.
Why not?
Because you can't drive the Ferrari on electrical power only.
No.
No, but of course you can't, because it's a Kerr system like a Formula One car. It's got a V12 engine and an electric motor, but they're all integrated. They work together all of the time. You can't separate them.
You should have thought about that, shouldn't you?
Bad planning. Who won that? It was me, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's not important, though, is it?
Is it not?
No, it's just not relevant.
Right. In a drag race, it's irrelevant which car gets there first.
Yeah, yours is the better milk float.
Back in the pits, Hammond had an idea for the next test.
We've got to drive to the hotel, yeah, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's about an hour away, and it gives us a chance to see what they're like on the road.
That's a good point.
Real world.
That is a good point.
I can't do that. I can't drive the Ferrari on the road.
Why?
Well, it's not registered.
It is, got number plates.
No, that's just pretend number plates. If they register it, it becomes second-hand and they have to pay the tax. That's why it came in a lorry.
So you can't drive it on the road either?
Nobody can drive it. It's not road legal yet.
Oh, no.
Mate, that's...
Oh, that is
'cause
such a shame.
It's an hour of...
Oh, sorry, James. That's really a rotten bit of luck, because you've come a long way from Italy. I can't give you a lift because there's, like, the soundman's headphones on the seat and the mixer.
No.
So there's literally nothing I can do. Sorry to have to say this, but that Ferrari is useless.
Yes. Later on in part 2, when these two have stopped dreaming up idiotic and irrelevant tests that it can't take part in, we shall see.
Fair enough. Now, at this point in the show, we like to sit down and chew the fat about new cars and motoring issues.
Like, for example, why in Britain we have to drive at 50 miles an hour when they're doing roadworks to protect the workforce, which is never there.
Yes, OK, it's issues.
And why fully grown adults have taken to riding around the city on children's toys.
Yes, OK.
I think they're called bicycles. Is that the right word?
It's issues like that. It's a segment that we are calling Conversation Street.
Better than that, rather brilliantly, we have made a bespoke version of that sting for every single episode we're going to make for the next 3 years.
Yes.
How about that? But, hold on. The slight problem with that is that we were so busy doing that, we didn't actually think of anything to talk about in Conversation Street, did we?
We did.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you'll love this. James May, the world's slowest moving human being, has been caught speeding. Actually charged by the police.
Criminal. That's what he's actually quite proud of it. He did it on a Honda CBR 600RR sports bike.
Yeah, the thing was...
Hot thing.
Richard and I were genuinely astonished when he came into the office and said I'd been done for speeding. We're like, what? Until we found out how fast he was going.
James?
Yes.
How fast was it again?
37 miles an hour.
Madman! Oh, how did you even breathe at that kind of speed?
No, it's how did the police catch you? I mean, were they running?
Gentle jog, yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
The thing is, if you've been caught, because we genuinely don't believe anyone in the world has, but if you have been caught speeding at a speed less than 37, do honestly please write to us and let us know. Because we don't think it's possible. And mark your envelope, I'm a tortoise.
And that is all we have time for this week on Conversations.
Whoa, hang on a minute.
What?
What, you're saying the first ever show and you just mock me for my speeding ticket, then we move on?
Well, it's a busy show.
At this point, we decided to call a halt to proceedings because we had reached a scientific conclusion.
It turns out that It doesn't really matter which car you buy. It all depends on your shoes. Now, this is a Todd loafer, slightly worn to give a crisper jump off the brake pedal, and it's immediate. Now, this is a Converse.
And I'm surprised there's more sponge in there than I thought.
See, Adidas, they weren't thinking that through. See, as you lift your foot up,
It's a millisecond.
I know you've got KERS, I know you've got a 6.3-litre V12, and I know that launch control system's amazing, but it's all let down by the sponginess of the Adidas shoe.
So they should sell you the car and the shoes.
No, more than that. Have you got the correct shoes and have you worn them in?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fresh shoes,
Yeah.
lads. I need to just run
They
around
need
the
to be
You need to
run
skid
in.
about. There we go.
With that sorted, it was time to bring in a racing driver. Finally, it was the turn of the psycho killer, the trickiest, the edgiest of the three. But I was so confident it'd win, I was prepared to take a massive gamble. If the McLaren isn't the fastest, you two can knock my house down.
What?
Knock it down.
What, your house?
Yeah, and I mean that. That's how confident I am that that will be the fastest.
That's you know we will do that.
Yep.
It's a serious bet.
Yeah.
Fine.
If that's not the fastest, we can knock your house down.
Yep. You know where it is. You've both been.
Yeah. I'd love to knock it down.
I want to make it absolutely plain, because I know this matters to Anorax. All three cars were running on exactly the same sort of tyres.
Yes, same tyres, same track, same driver. So the times are down to the cars.
Yeah.
Yep, and now it is time to reveal those times. And let me just make it absolutely clear. We don't know what they are. The producers have kept them from us. They're top secret.
Yeah.
So let's put the scoreboard up and let's begin with the Ferrari, I believe. Let's see what it did it in, please. 154.4. We don't know if that's any good, do we? But
Well, let's move on and do the Porsche next. Let's have a look. What did the Porsche do it in? You said it would mince the Porsche, and it didn't mince it. It was slower than the Porsche. I told you, it's just a melon ball. It's slower than my car, which was faster than your car.
yeah, it points over a second and it looks better.
Yeah, it did. In my mirror, where it belongs, getting smaller. It's a melon ball, and it lost.
Hammond,
What?
calm down.
All right.
Because now we must bring up the time that really matters. The one where a lot's at stake. The McLaren, the McLaren P1.
Are you nervous?
No.
Sure.
No.
Little bit.
No, I'm not nervous.
Why be nervous? Because you could get like a shopping trolley and keep all your things in it, move about, make some new friends under a bridge somewhere.
Hammond.
I'd say sell your body. Don't do that.
Be quiet. Let's bring up the time of the P1. Here we go.
Oh, God.
Where is it?
That is funny. Because you said the fastest, but it's not the fastest. It's the slowest.
Ladies and gentlemen, journalist, broadcaster, and homeless man, Jeremy Clarkson.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
You're not really going to knock my house down.
Yes, we are.
A bet is a bet.
Yeah, that's the deal, and we're going to film it.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, on the tyres that the McLaren can be bought with, it was faster.
Yep,
than...
no, but we agreed right at the start we'd all run on the same tyres, didn't we?
Deal before your car lost.
So let's just sum this first show up, shall we? I've lost my house. We've had a fight with the audience.
Big one.
Somebody shot our drone down. And we've killed 3 quite major celebrities.
Yes, but on the plus side, my Porsche was the fastest.
Let me talk you through where we are. It's South Africa. Over there, in the distance, you can see Johannesburg. But this place here is called the Cradle of Humankind. Now, it's called that because archaeologists have determined it was on this very spot that mankind separated from the ape.
Well, I mean... Be reasonable. You've learnt to put socks on, but other than that...
Listen, I'm trying to be profound here,
Carry
okay?
on, carry
I'm
on.
trying to be profound because this is ground zero. This is where all of human history began. Anyone who comes here, it's like coming home.
Jeremy,
What?
how long has it taken some of us to evolve from being apes, then?
It's taken 2,100,000. You at home may be wondering why everybody here is applauding. And it's because while the rest of mankind has managed to grasp the concept of arithmetic, the president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, well, how can I put this? He sort of hasn't. I've got a clip here, show you what I'm on about.
We announced that our membership figures stood at 700. Listen properly. 769,820.
I mean, honestly, funny thing is, Jacob Zuma is actually a bit of a controversial figure here. He recently installed a swimming pool at his home. And then, because he'd used taxpayers' money to do that, he said it was actually a water storage facility in case of a fire. So, in other words, if he burst into flames, he could jump into it and put himself out in 1,000 and 300 seconds.
He has also bought himself what he claims is a fire engine. Nice.
Yep, he's also got himself an ambulance.
Yep, can't be too careful.
Motoring in South Africa. Big problem here, of course, is the wildlife, because how do you accurately warn motorists that there may be a deary thing ahead and that it could be full of helium? Well, the authorities have had a go. They've come up with this as a sign, which is it's not bad, except they got the word wrong. It's not a baboon.
No, it's not.
We're from England. We know that's not a baboon. Baboons are actually very dangerous here. Certainly, they've got a better idea of how to handle a gun than the local police.
Oh, God.
Actually using that as a shooting stick.
Shall we get on with the show?
Yes,
Come on.
good idea, good
Yes.
plan.
Now we must move on because it's time for us to take a gentle stroll down Conversation Street.
Right, sticking with Aston Martin, they've teamed up with Red Bull Racing to create this. It's called the 001, OK? It has a V12, no turbos, none of that sort of hybrid witchcraft, yet it produces 900 horsepower in a car that only weighs 900 kilos. Staggering.
Well, more than staggering, that is actually a bit of a magic figure, because that means it has 1 horsepower per kilogram, and no other car gets close to that.
Not even
does it?
remotely close. A Vulcan's nowhere near,
no.
barely half that.
Yeah.
It's staggering. The only problem I have with this, you just have to look at it. See, there's another angle we've got here. Look at that. You know that car is going to be all about aerodynamics and particularly downforce. And I hate downforce.
Well, what do you mean you hate downfall?
Because they tell you that you can go around a 90-degree bend at 100 miles an hour because of the weight of the air pressing down on the body. It's like having an invisible elephant. What if the elephant falls off?
It's not a real elephant.
Yes,
It
but
can't
if
fall
you can't
off.
see, how can you trust something you don't see?
Wait, no, I'm with him, because what if you drove through a sudden vacuum?
Well, that's not going to happen either, is it? It's not a real elephant. You
Hammond,
don't-
listen. There has to be a speed in a car with active downforce like that one, where you go around a corner too fast for the tyres, too fast for the mechanical grip, but not fast enough for the downforce to be working. So you'd have to say to the police, I crashed because I wasn't going fast enough. It's true.
Potentially.
Well, there's another point, actually, because the handling is going to depend on the weather, isn't it? Because if it's a really hot day, the air will be thinner
No, thicker.
No, it's thinner on a hot day. That's why helicopters
You see,
can't
I'd be
fly.
messed up already because I'd have the wrong...
Well, exactly, but that's the point. So you've got a really hot day, and you don't really want to be driving a car where whether or not you get round the corner depends on whether or not the sun's out.
So you now want weather forecasts to include cornering speeds?
It's not just weather, altitude. You could drive that car around a corner at 100 miles an hour in Holland, sea level, but what we hit 6,000 feet up here? 6,000 feet up here, you'd barely be able to get around at 3 miles an hour. You'd crash it into a tree or a visible elephant.
They are real.
That's
They
what
are
would
real.
happen. Exactly. I just, honestly, downforce, I don't like having to trust something you can't see. It's like North Korea.
Or the contraceptive pill. What's an overshare?
OK, there's actually another hypercar I want to draw your attention to. Replacement for the Veyron. That is the Bugatti Chiron. It's got a quad-turbo 8-litre W16 engine, which every minute inhales 13,000 gallons of air. It's unbelievable. 1,500 horsepower, and the top speed is limited to 261 miles an hour.
Yeah, they do say it would do 288, but that would be irresponsible on the road.
It's got diamonds in the speakers for better sound quality.
Of course it has, yeah.
Oh, good, you like this. At top speed, the force on each tyre is 3,800 G. A man dies at 9 G. If you drive the Chiron flat out, it'll drain its tank in 9 minutes.
9 minutes? Hang on a minute. 261 miles an hour at 9 minutes. That means you'd have to fill up for fuel every 39 miles.
Yeah.
Well, actually, slightly less, because you can't drive until you run out. You'd have to start looking for a petrol station. So...
Yes, James, it really isn't a practical car, is it?
Can I give you the most amazing stat, though? It's not about the car itself, it's about the people who are buying them, OK? They've got 200 orders so far, and the average person who's ordered one already has 64 cars, 3 helicopters, 3 jets, and 1 yacht. Zoomer. He's got one on order.
Didn't say that. Didn't say that.
Should we move it on?
In South Africa, OK, there are 35 carjackings every day.
Every day?
Every day, 35.
I've got to say, well done. That's an amazing figure. I can't believe it. That's just, how have you got time to come here? Because you've got stuff to do.
Well, no, they've all come here in someone else's car.
Oh, so you've already done it. I got it.
But what they don't realise is they're all walking home.
OK.
But anyway, look, I've done a bit of research. The most commonly carjacked cars, are the VW Polo, the Toyota Hiace, and the Toyota Hilux.
But those are all the best-selling cars in South Africa.
Exactly, the VW Polo is the best-selling car in South Africa.
So why would you buy a car which increases your chance of being shot in the head and your car being stolen? Why wouldn't you all just buy a car that nobody would want to steal?
Yeah, no, because if I lived here, I'd get something... Well, not one of those. I'd get something like a beige Volvo Estate.
That's just a car you want. You're using it as an excuse to get your dream car.
Look, Hammond, I've explained it to you before. Having a Volvo Estate, is a bit like needing to go to the dentist. It's going to happen. You've got to get it out. Just do it.
Well, I don't want to just get it over with. That's like going to the dentist and saying, take all my teeth out because they're going to fall out. Or go to that barber's. Oh, just pull it all out. It's going to fall out. Go to the doctor. Oh, can you just stop me being able to retain my urine? It's going to happen too. I'm going to bury myself and get it all over with once and
He
for all.
has got a point, seriously. Let's enjoy it before we have to have the Volvo. Exactly, but why do you all buy cars that you're going to get carjacked in? Has anyone got a Volkswagen Polo here?
Well, how do you
You
know?
have.
That's what you think.
Did you buy that for yourself? Your dad bought you a Volkswagen...
Oh, nice gift.
What sort of madness is this? Has anyone got a Toyota Hilux? Yeah, this is insanity.
Is it yours?
What did you start out with this morning? It's unbelievable. Anyway, listen, we've got to move it on. Because here in South Africa, people have a very interesting approach to preventing car theft. Got a picture here of one man's solution.
Yeah, that's a python.
Yes, now there's no question it's going to work. I would not steal a car that had that on the dashboard. However, a python's not like a burglar alarm. You can't turn it off.
No.
Well, when you come back to your car, how do you say to the snake, it's my car, don't strangle me?
You can't.
I'm pretty sure you can't train a python, can you?
No, you can't. That's why you never see sheep snakes or guide snakes for the blind. They're never caught on. Never happen.
I have to say, though, in England, we've got an even more stupid solution, OK? This chap's come up with an idea called Bike Mine. Got a video of him here explaining how it works.
It can be attached quickly to protect almost any personal possession you store outside or in a garage or shed. Its robust steel construction is covered in a rubber skin to protect your property. Bike Mine is safe because the detonators are self-contained and it's legal to own and use. Bike Mine is reliable because there are no batteries to run down and only one moving part.
What I can't understand is he said it could also be used to protect any other personal property you may have.
Well, like a Ming vase.
Are you worried about your child being kidnapped? Simply hang this bomb round their neck.
This is the Grand Tour, and this week we've come home. We're back in Britain. We're actually in Yorkshire, which is where all three of us grew up. Specifically, we're in the fishing port of Whitby. There it is. Now, Whitby, of course, is famous all around the world for its unbelievable fish and chips.
With scraps.
What?
Fish and chips with scraps. You get scraps. There's little bits of batter that stay in the bottom of the fryer.
Scraps. Do you
No,
want scraps
bits.
with
Fish
that?
and chips with bits.
No, it's scraps.
It is bits. Bits. Right, hands up for bits.
Wrong.
Scraps.
Chips and scraps.
Don't argue with me. Because I was born in Yorkshire, every single one of my family back to the 17th century is from Yorkshire. I'm the most Yorkshire person in the world.
You are, yeah. Do you know, it's funny because you can't tell. You really wouldn't know. Yorkshire people are famous, aren't they, for speaking their mind? And with you, we never know what you're thinking. It's just...
All right, then, what am I thinking now?
You're thinking you're brilliant and I'm an irritating little short ass.
How did you know?
Yeah, it's just...
It's incredible.
Yeah, psychic.
Other things Yorkshire's famous for, cricket, that's not interesting. Oh, and then there was a TV show called Last of the Summer Wine, which is about three very badly dressed old men who fell over and everything they ever did went wrong. It was rubbish.
Yeah, terrible.
Don't know why that took off. Car making, well, let's put it this way, it's not exactly the Detroit of the British Isles.
No, it's not. But there is a lot of motoring-related stuff here this week because we're in town.
So, let's get on with the show.
Yes, let's. We begin in Victorian times when James May was a little old lady. See, back then, gentlemen of means...
Rich people in tweed suits.
Yes, rich people in tweed suits would take what was known as the Grand Tour. They'd go off to France or Italy and they'd spend a few months learning about culture and wine and music. Nowadays, of course, everybody goes to Magaluf and learns about beer and vomit and chlamydia.
Yeah, now, we think this is a real shame. So Jeremy and I went off to Italy to do our own modern take on the Grand Tour, a wonderful, inspirational journey that not only gave its name to this show, but also to 1,000 GT cars. Grand Tourers.
Our start point was the Tuscan hilltop city of Siena. Home to the most exciting horse race in the world, the Palio. It was the beginning of what would be a very fabulous and very cultured journey. We'd visit the magnificent cities of Florence and Bologna and Verona on our way to the finishing point in the most magnificent city of them all, Venice. The cars we'd be driving were fabulous too. James had chosen the Rolls-Royce Dawn, a new two-door drop-head version of the Ghost. And I'd be in the DB11, the latest in a long line of elegant and beautiful Aston Martin Grand Tourers.
Even its door mirrors are beautiful. Its wheels are beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen.
Shame it's brown.
It isn't brown.
Yes, it is.
It isn't brown, it's sunset orange.
It's not brown in the way that my car is green. It's brown.
Your car is a convertible BMW 7 Series.
No, it isn't.
But is it a 7 Series underneath?
Well, bits of the floor pan
There
are.
you go. £265,000 for a convertible 7 Series.
It isn't.
If you're going to drive across Italy, which we're going to do, taking in some culture, that's what you need.
A brown car.
It isn't brown.
It's brown.
Look, let's not bicker. Actually, on this occasion, let's get on. We are both going to drive across what is, I think, our favourite country in the world, enjoy some culture, enjoy some fine wine, some food, some art. What was that?
Sorry I'm late.
Well, we didn't know you were coming.
We rather hoped you were.
Well, I am, and look at the car I brought. Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. 707 American horsepower and enough torque to pull that old building down.
Just that old building is a... Oh, well, never mind.
Hammond, Tuscany, not really the home of the muscle car.
Yeah, you see, I was worried you two were going to be all boring and serious. And I am here to make sure this trip is fun, because don't tell me the original Grand Tour wasn't fun. It was like an 18th century cannonball run, only with old-fashioned morphine instead of cocaine. This is going to be brilliant.
What's with your advertising?
Well, because the Americans used to do the Grand Tour, and they used to get sponsors to help cover the costs. So I've got myself some sponsorship.
Bobby's, what is a grit?
Isn't it a bit left over after coffee or potatoes?
I don't know.
It's what's there.
Rodeo Lubentune.
Yep. Look at that. The thing is, people will look at me in that and know I am on a Grand Tour. They'll just say, what are these two old farts doing?
Seriously.
You have made no effort. You haven't got into the mood for this.
Art, music, culture.
Refinement.
Yes. Is this something to do with you?
Yes, they're here. These are my spare tyres. Because on a trip like this, in a car with that much power and that much torque, I'm going to get through some tyres.
Tree.
Yeah. That lot was not going to fit in the boot or trunk, was it? That is luxury. That is Grand Touring.
Reluctantly, we agreed to let our vulgar colleague tag along.
All of the work that Rolls-Royce put into that Dawn to make it quiet and refined and sublime and all those things you'd expect, it all counts for absolutely nothing if it's anywhere near your Dodge, because that's all you can hear.
Yeah, no, do you know something about that Hellcat? OK, I've done some research into it. The Hellcat is based on the old Chrysler 300C. Underneath, it's the same car. And the 300C underneath is a 1990s Mercedes E-Class. So what Dodge has done with that thing, if they put 700 horsepower in a 20-year-old taxi, that's what it is.
Anyway, if you want to listen to two old men dribble on about music and opera, whilst I have fun, there'll be more of that later on. But now it's time for us to check our mirrors and make a smooth left into Conversation Street.
It is. Now, I have to say, James was very, very excited about coming to Whitby because he'd heard that it's the centre of the British jet industry. He was very much looking forward to spending a couple of days maybe looking at old drawings of Concorde, but then he discovered that Whitby Jet is actually this.
It looks like coal.
It is coal.
Is it?
Thing is, though, they've worked out, obviously, you can't burn coal anymore because Al Gore goes nuts and a polar bear falls over. So they polish it up and then say it's precious.
That's interesting, this, because I've got the blurb here from Whitby's oldest retailer of the stuff, and it says, unlike other gemstones, jet is actually fossilised wood.
Yes, because unlike other gemstones, it's coal.
Yeah, but
It's coal, isn't it? That is coal.
unlike other gemstones, Hammond, it's a lot cheaper.
Well, yes, it would be.
Well, seriously, though, you can get a jet ring, look, for 32 quid.
Well, you get a sack of it for 10 quid. It's coal.
Thing is, though, no, we were thinking the other day, you know, car makers now, they use, like, bamboo and ash and walnut and carbon fibre to decorate bits of a car. Why don't they use jet?
Exactly.
Anybody'd like to have some jet in their car?
Actually, we've been doing a little bit of experimenting, haven't we? I've made a prototype. This is a gear stick with a jet knob on the top. It's brilliant. I mean, it's not polished yet, but you change gear. It does make your hand a bit dirty.
But no, that's a handy reminder.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right, because, you know, sometimes you drive an unfamiliar car, you're on the motorway, and you think, oh, did I change into sixth? Yeah, I did. I know.
Here's some conversation.
Oh, good.
For Conversation Street. Bad news, there is a problem right now in this country. Not enough people are learning to drive. Seriously, in 2007, just over 16,000 driving tests were conducted. Last year, that had dropped to 4,650.
It's a true fact. In less than 10 years, 16,000 down to 4,000.
It's a big issue.
And I know why. It's because kids leave school these days. They've no idea who Hitler was. They can't add up. They just know cars are bad. That's all they learn. Cars are bad, cars are bad, cars are bad. And then when they do get out of school after work, you know, after school's finished, they go around and you can just see speed cameras and traffic jams and signs saying, please don't overtake cyclists. And they think, well, what's the point?
There's no point learning to drive. I might as well just use Uber.
Exactly. Now, if I were a car maker, I would be fighting like a Kilkenny cat to make sure every car I made was as interesting and as amazing as possible. But instead, what Renault, they give us a Kadjar. How many children are going to say, oh, if I work really hard and get my homework done, one day maybe I can have a Kadjar?
Because that's the car they grow up seeing. Worse still, Nissan Juke.
You really hate the Juke?
No, I hate it.
He does hate it. No, he genuinely
I
hates.
I object to it existing. It shouldn't exist. I loathe it. On the motorway, you see them with their stupid, like, double bug eyes. Smug little bug. If I see one, I'm mad. I can't help myself, and it's cruel, and I'm sorry if you're in one, but I see them.
Because I was driving along with him the other day. I was busy telling him a story, and he was looking out the window going, I hate you, I hate you.
I hate them.
What's the most boring car on sale in Britain today, do we
question.
think?
Get
out. Get out. Security, kill him. Brown Astons, I tell you what, if I were the boss of Volkswagen, I'd go and find the man who did, what's that tall Golf called?
Oh, the SV?
SV, that's it.
Yeah.
The one that, it's like a Golf, but for people who have stovepipe hats. And I would bludgeon him with a tyre iron. Why did you do that? Nobody wants one.
Just to be fair, I think VW have bigger concerns at the moment.
OK, I want to talk about the Oxford Ring Road. I know it's miles away from here and it's miles away from anybody watching, but the thing is, OK, for the last 2 years, they've been working on slightly shrinking 2 roundabouts and putting some traffic lights up. Now, do you know how much the budget was for that job?
2 roundabouts, 10 grand a roundabout, I'd say 20 grand overall.
£9 million.
Million.
9 million. Can you imagine the builder's face when he came out of that meeting? They're going to give me 9 million quid to shrink a couple of roundabouts.
Well, that's why it's taken him 2 years. He had to make it look like 9 million quid.
This is not a word of a lie. £9 million would buy you a 30,000 square foot house, OK, like this. That is a 9 million quid house to build.
You can have that or 2 shaved roundabouts.
Yes.
For your 9 million quid.
No, actually no, because, and this again is not a word of a lie, a few months ago, Builderman, and it must have been a bet, he went back to the council and he said, I need another £1 million quid.
And they paid.
And they paid. They paid.
He probably shuffled in, I broke my spade. Another $1 million? Yes, of course, I have it.
Can I be cross for a moment with BMW?
It'll be difficult to stop you, yes.
The thing was, last year, they introduced this. They went, look at that. And everybody went, that is fantastic. It's an homage to the old CSL Batmobile from '72. And everyone's going, God, when are you going to start making it? They said, no, we're not. We just made it just to show you what we could make.
So why do they show us?
Just don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, no, it doesn't matter, because they've come up with something else instead. This look. This is actually an homage to the original 2002, which was the old car on the left. And that, I think, actually looks pretty fab.
It does.
Are they going to make it?
No.
Well, show it to us then.
Look what we could make, but we're not. It's a good job BMW don't run the emergency services, isn't it? Oh, look, you have drifted a long way from shore there, haven't you? We could drag you back behind our speedboat. Will you? No, we just wanted you to know that we could.
What they're being is prick teasers.
Oh, you can't say that. I don't think you can say that.
Not sure you can say.
No, I don't think you can say that.
When you say prick tease, is it allowed
Top
today?
tease, that's no different. You've just changed the name. It's
It's
a
not the
different
word-
way of saying prick or dick.
It's a penis tease. It doesn't matter.
Conversation Street's taken a really bad turn.
The point I'm trying to make is BMW must stop doing that.
Whatever it was.
Now, if we had a Grand Tour medal, and we don't, but if we did, I know who the first recipient would be. Because we heard this amazing story the other day. You know, speed camera vans sit at the side of the road, blacked out windows, civil servants sitting inside watching YouPorn, OK, waiting to... That's what it is, waiting for someone to trip his camera. Now, someone the other day snuck up behind the speed camera van, quietly undid its number plates, put them on his own car, and drove past at 100 miles an hour. I mean, literally the funniest thing
Well
ever.
done, you,
That is
sir.
respect.
Top work. Absolutely.
I love that.
That is top work.
Can I talk about the Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio?
No.
Why?
Because we've got to get back to our film. Tonight, we are on a grand tour of Italy. There's James in a Rolls-Royce, Jeremy in an Aston Martin, and me in a Dodge Hellcat with 2 trucks full of tyres, so I can do donuts whenever I want.
Yes, and we pick up the action on day 2 of what was becoming, thanks to him, the journey from hell.
As the sun rose over the silent, misty Italian countryside,
OK, let's get these out.
and Hammond extricated his entourage from the hotel car park, James lowered the roof on his Rolls-Royce.
Morning.
Morning. That is the silent ballet.
There's nothing silent about your lorries,
No,
Hammond.
not those. That's how Rolls-Royce themselves describe the roof going up and down on there. In this, look.
What, silent ballet?
Silent ballet, that's what they say. They also talk about the dawn provides an erotic tingle on the skin.
Whoa.
Is it all their
Is this
words?
actual Rolls-Royce?
This is their words, yes, their bum. They also say the car is a contemporary take on the casino lifestyle. It is intended to attract people.
Sort of people.
People,
What, people who put their seatbelts on?
exactly, people who put their seatbelts on and off and relish both freedom and sophistication.
Casino lifestyle.
Casino lifestyle. Ah!
What? Here we go. Have you got your seatbelt on? Not only did you knock us into the sewage-infested waters of Venice, you cut the present we gave you in half.
Ah, no, hang on a minute. No, it was only like a 2-piece jigsaw puzzle and I've put it back together again. Look, there it is. See? Perfect.
Hammond,
Yes?
art galleries do not saw artworks in half just to get them up the stairs, you moron.
Anyway, listen, before we move on, can I just say something about that Aston Martin? Not to wind you two up, I genuinely mean that. It's an amazing car. I know the steering wheel is square.
And it was brown.
Yes, and I know the interior wasn't very nice, but genuinely, it's affected me. It's been living up here ever since I got back. Thank you so much. Thank you, and welcome to the Grand Tour, which, once again, is in Whitby. There is actually a very good reason for that. It's because these two last week blew up my house and I literally have nowhere else to go.
Yeah. Plus, James May lost the tent bag.
Yeah, he did. He did do that. Anyway, we were reminiscing as we've been here all week, and we worked out that Yorkshire is the only place on earth where all 3 of us have had a car crash. Susan, what was yours?
Triumph 2500 rolled over.
Yeah, Hammond?
My first car. And my second car. My mum's car. My dad's car. My third and fourth cars. My first 4 motorcycles. The Radio York radio van. The Radio Leeds radio car. And the jet-powered dragster.
Oh, yes.
All of those. Busy. And what about you?
Well, me, I tell you, no, 1977, when the driving examiner said to me, "Congratulations, Mr. Clarkson, you've passed," what I heard was, "Congratulations, Mr. Clarkson, you are the best driver I've ever seen."
Oh, no.
36 hours later, and that's all it was, 36 hours I'd been on the roads, stuffed my mother's Audi. Wheels came off, killed the sheep. So if you're the farmer, sorry about that. Anyway, I'm glad we're still in Yorkshire because last week we said there was no real motoring connection with the county, and it turns out that's not true. Because I was reading TripAdvisor last night. Now, TripAdvisor is a website for the mealy-mouthed and the bitter.
Well, hang on. I mean, it's not entirely...
No, seriously, it's useless apart from anything else because you have to know someone before their opinion is relevant. I mean, I know Hammond, OK? So if he tells me a restaurant's great, I know I don't want to go there because it'll be rubbish.
You're absolutely right, actually, because, I mean, that bloke in the hat over there, I don't care how many stars he gives Oxfam Whitby, I'm not going there.
Exactly. Anyway, I went on TripAdvisor, OK, and there was a review of Whitby. And it said, and I'm quoting here, "One aspect of Whitby is the large number of local chavs who drive around the town in a circuit in their noise-enhanced cars." You know, already I don't like this person. "They accelerated down the narrow streets and then slowed their engines down quickly as they approach a junction, causing explosive-sounding backfiring."
He sounds like a right knob.
Of course he's a right knob. He's leaving a message on TripAdvisor. Anyway, the local police here, they've decided they've had enough of people, how they put it, driving away in a manner that causes their wheels to spin and screech. OK, so they decided to have a clampdown. But, and this is the quote I love, "the operation was curtailed due to poor weather."
Well, are they saying... Well, they didn't go out because it was raining, is what
It's
they
like,
mean.
yeah, no, law enforcement in Whitby is like cricket. Everybody just goes inside if it starts to drizzle.
So this is the Whitby Town Police we're talking about?
Yeah, the WTPD.
Yeah.
No, hang on a minute. This is North Yorkshire. It's NYPD.
Well, actually...
It's the NYPD. That would be a brilliant police drama. Right, Constable. I've had the Chief Constable on. He's chewed my ass. The Mayor's chewed his ass. Now I'm going to chew your ass. We've got these lads that do it, well, chavs, they're doing like wheel screechers. And you've got 48 hours to solve it, or I'll have your badge in your truncheon. That's not good, is it?
No, that is... I mean, it's only a second faster than a Porsche 718.
I know. I mean, I admire BMW for trying with that car. I really do. But my God, they made a hash of it. In fact, I'm trying to think of a metaphor for someone who's really tried their hardest with something and it hasn't worked. No, nothing's coming to mind.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
I got nothing at all.
So, let's move it on. It's time for us to make a gentle left into Conversation Street.
OK, right, I want to begin with the new Ford GT. Got a picture of it here. Now, this is... Well, you remember the last GT they did? That was just an homage, really, to the old GT40. This one, they say, is actually a racing car on the road. It's got a twin-turbo, 3.5-litre V6, 7-speed flappy paddle box, more than 600 horsepower. The problem is, though, I can't think of any racing car that works on the road, really, ever.
No, they don't.
They don't. I mean, the Nissan GT-R, fabulous, fabulous car. Track edition, rubbish. It's undrivable.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point, because a racing car on the road is a bit like trying to play tennis with a cricket bat. It's
yeah,
technically possible.
Yeah, it's two totally different disciplines.
Doesn't work.
The only trouble is that looks so good, I do find myself going...
You bought the last GT, didn't you?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me, Hammond. Yes, I did.
Did that go well?
No, it didn't go.
Oh, did it not?
No, it didn't. The problem was the insurance company said it had to have a burglar alarm, which blew usually when my daughter was doing a school play and ruined it. And it had to have a tracker. And there is nothing on God's earth more annoying than a tracker.
I mean, I've got a tracker. It doesn't bother me in the slightest.
No, that's because you'll have a little special place on your hall table with a pencil outline. All right, I've got my keys and I must remember to take my tracker because you're organised and I'm not.
Maybe one for your tracker, one one for your keys, one for your little penknife, one for some change in case you need.
Yeah, with the 10p's and the
tiny
2p's.
screwdriver for mending your glasses.
He will, oh, he will.
No, I won't. It lives in a... It just has a little pouch. You just hang it
Oh,
on the
does
hook
it?
and then you take it... Yeah, it's like
He's
a little
got a
holder.
pouch for his tracker.
Especially for the tracker.
Well, yeah, because...
What's it made of?
Well, leather, I suppose.
Little leather pouch. Did you make it yourself?
No, it came...
It's a little leather pouch.
It came with the car. Believe it or not.
Oh, so Ferrari sold it to you? Was it £600? I bet it was.
No, it just came with the car.
It was. You don't think Ferrari give it away? The stripes on your Ferrari, okay? Two stripes, a bit like on that Ford. There are 2 stripes. How much did you pay for those stripes?
Well, they were an option. They were £6,000.
Listen, this is why I drive a Golf GTI, okay? Because you don't need an alarm, you don't need a tracker, and it's 5 insurance groups lower down than the previous Golf GTI, that one.
Wow.
It is. It's because you can't crash it.
Bet I could.
Anyway, have you two seen those new pedestrian traffic lights in Trafalgar Square, which, if you're watching in America, is in London, which is in Britain?
These are the... Yes, these are the ones that have got the two blokes on them, isn't it?
James, don't be sexist.
Was it?
No, because what if you're a lesbian?
Oh, you put 2 women on it.
Well, then what if you're straight?
A man and a woman?
Yeah, but
I don't
traffic
know.
lights are only this big. You can't have a man and a man and a man and a woman and a man who isn't sure and a woman and a woman and...
What if you just want to cross the road?
What? It's like being in the 70s with you two. Crossing the road is now an opportunity for you to express your sexuality.
Yeah.
It is. That's why they've come up with these traffic lights in London.
What are they for?
Oh, they really have. They really have.
They're real.
Yeah, they are for real.
What's that one on the right, then?
Hello, transgender.
What? So hang on. Only
Yeah.
What?
Transgender traffic lights.
I didn't know that.
So only transgender people can cross when that's green.
No.
When it goes red, does that mean it's not okay to be transgender?
That's
what do you make of
That
it?
is a good... I don't know what happens when it goes red, because I know where they're going to say it's not a... No, I don't know.
And what has any of this got to do with crossing the road? That's all you want to do. It's nothing to do with expressing your sexuality. It's the wrong time. I want to cross the road. All I want to do at that point is work out how to go to the other side. And by that, I don't mean... No. I mean... of the road. Maybe you're right, it is.
Right, now, can I talk about Alfa Romeo?
No.
Why?
Because we have to introduce our next film. Now, as we know, in recent years, the world's car makers have made great strides to make more fuel-efficient and environmentally friendly car engines, but very little has been done to make more environmentally friendly car bodies and interiors.
Yeah, by and large, they are still made of steel and plastic, and that consumes a huge amount of energy.
So we had an idea. Are there more sustainable materials that could be used instead?
Well, to find out, each of us bought a Land Rover Discovery. We then removed its metal body and replaced it with whatever we thought was the best solution for the future of the planet.
The meeting point was in Wales, and I was the first to arrive in a car made from mud. But sadly, before I had the chance to tell you anything about it, Hammond arrived.
Oh, yeah. Let me talk you through this. What I've done, I've built a frame out of hazel through which I have weaved English flowers and shrubs. It's basically a hedgerow. Better still, it is growing because I've planted them. So it's got compost and soil to provide the nutrients required to let my car flourish and bloom. You don't wash this car, you water it. It's alive. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Clematis,
Now it's cleared up.
have you become a hippie?
No, but I can feel it starting inside me. What have you done?
Well,
Sadly, before I could tell him, Jeremy arrived in a snuff movie.
Gentlemen, I can see what's happened. You're speechless because all the words in your head have been sucked out by the magnetism of my genius. A car made from bone and skin.
what bones?
and nimble bones.
Bones are no good for this. You can't use bones to make cars.
Why not? When your dog dies, what do you do now? You bury it.
I don't turn her into a boot lid.
Why not?
Because I want to see a little face there stretched.
You don't have to have the face. I haven't got a face on it. It's just the bones.
So as Granny gets older, do the family sit around planning a new little hatchback?
No, I hadn't thought of people.
There's not a lot of dignity in it, is there? Have you used ears for wing mirrors?
Yes.
You're sick.
Why would you not do that? They're designed for that.
No, they're not.
No.
Well, they are.
They're not reflective.
They absorb information and pass it on to the creature. Look at my windscreen.
What is that?
It's the digestive system, or part of the digestive system, of Anne Cow.
What part of the digestive system?
Well, its stomach lining.
Not its stomach
Further,
lining.
where? Further back?
Yes.
Are you staring at the world through a cow's ring?
It is its anal passage, but stretched so thin that it's completely transparent.
Cow's ass, horse's ass. It's perfect.
Come on. It's a lot better than what you two have done, which is nothing. What's this made out of?
Have a guess.
Is it mud?
It's mud. It's a mud car.
You got flat tyres?
No, they're not flat. They're pumped up as high as they will go without exploding.
How much does it weigh?
Quite a lot.
How much?
Yeah, loads.
How much does it weigh, James?
What units would you like?
Tons.
5.
5 tons?
Well,
Well, that's
mud
just
mud is quite heavy.
This looks safe.
it's sustainable, is that? That is growing. While we've been having that conversation, this has extended a little bit. It just grows quite.
Is it actually a living car?
Everything's planted. I put bulbs along here ready for spring. Daffodils.
Not safe, though, is it?
Yes, hazel. Very strong.
What's not as strong as bone? Bone is 3 times stronger than steel.
Is it?
Oh, sorry. Text, Mr. Wilman. Having built your cars from nature, you will now drive through it to the Myarth Hill, where you will take part in a green motorsport event.
What green motorsport event?
It doesn't say. A motorsport event that's presumably ecological in some way.
Okay.
Before setting off, we consulted a map to see where we were going.
Right, so that's the UK. We're here, and we've got to get to here.
Well, that doesn't look like too much of a challenge.
Clearly, James was not going to get his car built that day, so Richard and I decided to spend the night at the pub.
How far have we come today, just remind me?
We're still in the same field where we started.
Well, he is.
Yes.
We're at a pub.
But we have to go back to the start.
Yeah,
to start. It's not the best start.
No. Well, how do we know? We haven't started
No, well,
yet.
precisely. So actually, it might yet be a brilliant start when the start starts.
So there we are. There we are. We've looked into it. We've looked into it thoroughly, and I'm afraid we're all doomed. We're all going to die. Welcome to the Grand Tour, which this week comes from the Netherlands. We're setting something of a record, actually, because we are the first 3 British men ever to come here for a weekend and not vomit on a prostitute. Actually, we love coming to Holland. James for his own reasons. And I like it because the Dutch are officially the tallest people on Earth. It's true fact.
Yes, and I hate it here. I'm sick of staring at belly buttons all day.
The only problem I do have here is that I'm not allowed to use the word swaffling.
Yeah. Well, you just did, didn't you?
And the thing is, OK, it is a really bad word here, and I have no idea why.
What does it mean?
It means... it means to bang your gentleman sausage on the side of the Taj Mahal.
Oh, God!
But anyway, listen, we're in Rotterdam, which is a marvellous city, in fact, because you aren't allowed to bring a car into the city if it was built, a petrol car, if it was built before 1992, and you aren't allowed to bring a diesel car into the city if it was built before 2000, which means you're never held up by poor people.
Really?
What else can we say about the Dutch? Oh, of course, you gave the world speed cameras.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
No, actually, I'd far rather be pulled over by the actual Dutch police rather than a speed camera, because boy, oh boy, do these guys look good. Got a picture here.
Whoa!
I would very much like to see a lady policeman in an outfit like that.
Looks like the guy on the right already has.
Should we get on with the show? man.
Yes, good idea. There's been a bit of an argument in the office between these two. You see, Richard maintains that the Mazda MX-5 is all the sports car you would ever need.
Because it is.
But James says it isn't.
Because it isn't.
So, we decided they should sort it out by going to the obvious proving ground for all sports cars. North Africa.
This is it, the latest version of the best-selling two-seater roadster of all time. And it's easy to see why. Peppy little engine at the front, 2 seats in the open air in the middle, rear-wheel drive. It's the perfect sports car recipe. But layered on top of that, in this new version, you get air conditioning, heated seats, lane departure assist, cruise control, rain-sensing wipers, dusk-sensing headlamps. You just can't do any better.
Well, you can actually, because all of those luxury items you're mentioning there, they just add weight and they mean it isn't a true sports car anymore.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. Colin Chapman, he was the bloke who founded Lotus. He said the ethos of a sports car is simplify and add lightness. He didn't say you simplify and add electric windows.
Yep, and then he gave all his money away to a drug dealer called John DeLorean.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is what it's actually about. This is called the Xenos. You get 4 wheels, you get somewhere to sit, you get an engine, and that's it. It's a sports car.
Yeah. What do you do if it rains?
Well, you'd get wet.
What if you want to listen to the radio?
Why would I want to listen to the radio round here?
Does it have a heater?
Nope.
Has it got windows?
Look, if you buy a football boot, you don't expect it to be usable as a ballet shoe, do you?
But Mazda has invented a football boot that you can wear to the opera.
Look, I can guarantee that if you wear that shoe to the opera house, it isn't going to...
At this point, the director said he'd heard enough about shoes for one day and told us to go for a drive.
Just because they had them in the 12th century on cathedrals, whatever, it doesn't mean you have to have them now. Don't be a slave to convention.
Yeah, but people had eyelids in the 12th century and nobody's deciding, let's get rid of those, they're old hat. Yeah, oh no, I've got all dust in my eyes and I can't sleep.
Yeah, but that's completely facile, Hammond. You know exactly what I mean.
But
The door... I mean, Riva speedboats don't have doors. You don't say I'm not...
This is lovely, isn't it?
What are you doing here?
Well, word reached me that you two were talking rubbish.
What do you mean, rubbish?
Well, if you want the best sports car, you don't want a Mazda or a Xenos. You want...
Oh, God, he's brought an Alfa Romeo.
Yes, of course I have. Alfa Romeo 4C Spider.
This is what I'm talking about. A symphony in carbon fibre. Balance personified. The Graduate updated. A mini Ferrari, as cute as a bunny rabbit with the greatest badge in the history of motor.
How much is it?
You know perfectly well how much it is.
Yeah, we've forgotten.
Money is vulgar. You can't put a price on something as exquisite as that.
Yeah, but Alfa Romeo did put a price on it, didn't they? And what was it?
£60,000.
So you could have both of our cars and everything you see in the back of a shot here for the price of one of these Alfa Romeos.
I know,
right?
it is extraordinary value for money.
It's too far from outside to inside.
It's miles.
Yes, thick sills.
Here we go.
The strength.
Look
It
at
is-
this. Rotary heater knobs.
Wow, it's like being in the 1970s.
Yeah, it is actually.
It's handbrake. Look at that. Is that fixed on or has that come off?
Alfa Romeo, purveyors of disappointment for nearly 3 decades.
Look at this. Classy.
Oh.
Yeah? Feel the quality
Let me
in
feel that. £60,000.
And this. So that's the noise you want to hear.
If you ever buy a new item of clothing, never show it to these two, because they're like, ooh, what are you wearing that jacket for? It makes you look like a German game show host.
That's satisfying.
Why are you wearing that jacket?
Because I was at a party in India last night, and I've hurried over here.
Why did you go to the party dressed as a German game show host?
Soon I grew weary weary of their abuse and set off in what, being no doubt, is my favourite car on sale today.
I will admit there are one or two tiny little problems with the 4C. Trivial stuff. It's very wide, the gearbox is a little bit dim-witted. If you fit sports exhaust, the noise is catastrophic. Petrol tank, yeah, that's too small. You've really only got a range of 300 yards. And then there's the steering. There's no power assistance, so it's incredibly heavy when you're parking. There's no feel when you're on the move. And then, and this is its party piece, just occasionally it'll go violently left or right for no reason. Whoa, you see that? Bloody hell. But look at it this way, we could all probably find fault with our children, and yet we still love them.
Jeremy loves Alfa Romeos because back in the old days, they were great, but they're not anymore. Plenty of things were great. Grease. Rolf Harris. Can't love them now.
Another small problem with the Alfa that I didn't mention earlier is that you get cramp after 5 minutes. Oh! Ugh. I'm going to have to stop and go for a walk, and they'll want to know why. And I'll have to tell them I need a wee or something. No, diarrhea. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. I'm just stopping for a minute here. Hang on.
Why are you stopping for a minute?
Oh, nothing.
Well, why are you upping your
Look at the snowy mountains. Ah, bonjour. Ah, merci, monsieur. Comment ça va?
God above. Have you got cramp?
No.
Yes, you have.
Right, good. Well, I've seen the view. I just wanted to see the view, and it's lovely.
Back on the road, James suddenly delivered a very un-Jamesman-like observation.
My car is seriously quick.
Not as fast as this.
Yeah, I bet it is.
James, this has a turbocharged 1750cc engine from a Fiat Punto.
Mine's 2 litre with a twin scroll turbocharger.
You notice Hammond is being strangely quiet on the subject of speed.
Oh, just listening to you two bicker. I am a bit down on power, if I'm honest.
I think Hammond's in a sort of retirement home for former distressed sports car owners.
Right, next straight bit of road, James May, I will pull over and show you what real speed is. Cows.
On a roof rack, I've never seen that.
Soon we found a suitable stretch of road, and Hammond agreed to be the starter.
I've got launch control.
Not interested.
Are you ready before anyone comes?
In 3, 2, 1, go!
Well, now that's just impossible.
It's the Xenos, which means James May has just won a drag race.
But for me, that wasn't the biggest surprise.
I don't understand why this lost. Because instead of a conventional chassis, it has a carbon fibre tub like you get in a Formula One car or a McLaren P1. And a carbon fibre tub makes a car expensive, but light. Very light. Trying to work out why I lost that race.
I think it's because your car isn't as fast as mine.
That was a factor.
Yeah, but mine is so light.
How do you know it's light? Every time Alfa say how much it weighs, they give a different figure.
Yeah, that's because they've got better things to do than go around weighing cars. When Picasso had finished one of his paintings, he didn't say, oh, I wonder how much that weighs.
Yeah, but you need to know the weight of an Alfa for when you resell it, because you buy scrap cars by weight.
And the Xenos, that was built in Norfolk, so obviously they're going to weigh it. There's nothing else to do. This is from Milan. They finished making it and then they went into town with one and pulled girls.
It's massive and it's made of pig iron. That's the problem. I can see the carbon fibre.
The weight argument raged on for the rest of the journey. So that night at the hotel, I came up with a plan.
I'm going to weigh all three cars to prove the Alfa's the lightest.
The problem with your plan is that you'd need a weigh bridge.
Yes.
And...
Yes.
Well, hang on.
We'll get one.
No, there isn't one.
I have got the hotel brochure here, actually. And, you know, it's got 3 restaurants, a spa and a gym, business centre, tennis court, but with one glaring omission.
What?
There's no weigh bridge
No.
on it. They haven't thought of that. I'd knock a star off.
I shall build one. I shall build a weigh bridge and then you shall see.
That could have been a really useful and interesting test, and you ruined it.
People are interested in Alfa Romeos.
People are interested in murders. They don't want to see one.
Anyway, we'll have more of that later on. But first, it is now time for us to engage reverse and park neatly in a marked space on Conversation Street.
Right, now, which nation on earth has the worst police cars?
Ooh, that's some good conversation. I like that one. The worst police cars, you see, it's definitely not the Americans, is it? Because they have those Crown Vics and their rear-wheel drive V8s. That's what you need.
Yeah, no, they're good police cars,
Good, so it's
not
not
the
them.
Americans.
It's us. It's
What,
the
the British? Really?
Yeah. We have those dreary little Vauxhall diesel Astras, Opals if you live here.
Oh, if
They're
you're in America, those
terrible.
miserable little Chevrolets that are actually Deus. Yeah,
Yes.
awful.
Most countries around the world would traditionally have always had a police car that was made there, one of their own cars, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, that's not what they used to do here.
In Holland?
No.
You don't surprise me.
What they actually had for many years, about 30 years, was Porsches.
What?
The police used Porsches, yeah. Remember? Yeah.
Do you know, I'd forgotten that. You're right, they did.
They did.
How did they persuade the government?
It's masterful.
money.
It's genius. Absolute respect to everybody who did it. What they did was say, right, we need a Porsche because it's air-cooled and the engine is at the back. And that would be really handy if ever we have to reverse at high speed for a long time.
They actually said that.
They did, and this gets better, and I'm not making this up. They did say this. They need a car where you can remove the roof so you can stand on the seats to address traffic in an emergency situation. So what they need is a 911 Targa and matching sunglasses, I presume. Yes.
Did they also say, and it comes with 911 on the back, which is our telephone number?
Thing is, it doesn't end there. They're still at it because the cycle cops around here, and there's a lot of them, they managed to persuade the government that they need mountain bikes.
Well, here.
In Holland. It's the flattest country on earth. And they need mountain bikes.
But-
Yeah, so much to a mountain. What?
The best thing... The best thing is, it gives us an opportunity to have one more look at a photograph of the Dutch mountain cop
Yes.
police. There they are. Now, let's talk about otters. What? No, I want to talk about otters. You see, a few years ago, somebody in Holland worked out that there were only 185 otters in the entire country.
Yeah, Jeremy, it's a car show.
Bear with me, OK, because I've got the figures here. In 2014, 21 of these otters were run over. OK, in 2015, 49 were run over. You only have 185 otters in the whole country, and in 2 years, you flattened 70 of them under your car.
What is your problem with otters?
Thing is, though, I don't want people to get the wrong impression. I don't want everyone to think that Dutch people go around murdering animals. Let me explain. Recently, the government here spent 150,000 euros, and that's 150,000 pounds, 160,000 pounds, 170,000
Yep,
pounds.
that's Brexit for you. There
We
it is.
can't even afford to put mayonnaise on our chips now here anymore. Anyway, they spent 150,000 euros on a bridge over a road so squirrels could cross safely. We've got a picture of the bridge. It's a substantial thing. You know this bridge? Is this a famous bridge?
That's a squirrel bridge.
Yeah, it's a squirrel bridge. Anyway, how many squirrels do you think have used it?
A squillion.
I can see where you're going with that one, James. No, it isn't. I've got the figures here. CCTV footage has revealed in 2014, 3 squirrels used it. In 2015, it was used only twice.
Why didn't the third squirrel use it again in 2015?
Probably got run over.
Yeah. By somebody mistaking him for an otter. Get it, get it.
Now, you probably read the other day, the Dutch are taking a view on whether to allow people to, how can I put this, assisted dying if somebody feels as though their life is complete. Okay. Now, this is something that occupies me a lot, I'll be honest with you, because I sometimes think, no, have I done enough now?
Yes.
No, you know, when would it be appropriate for me to think, time to end?
Now.
May I get on with it?
Yeah,
Do
do it now.
No, what I want to say is, OK...
I'll get the forms, there can't be many.
The time comes... The time, I think, comes when you stop wanting to be an idiot. That's the time when you've done enough.
I know what you mean.
No, actually, you are right. Because I think it's the moment where you go into a big department store and you go into the kitchenware section and you see a tea cosy, but you don't put it on your head.
Exactly. Not putting things on your head is a sign it's time.
And the time you don't want to put gloves on your ears and pretend to be a reindeer.
But that's just you, Hammond.
It's just me, isn't it?
Here's the moment I think you know. You're driving up a motorway, there's a train track next to you, a train comes, can be one of those fast ones. The day when you don't try and race the train, that's the day.
Yes.
I have to race the train.
Yes.
I have to go faster than the train, so everyone on the train looks at me and goes, I've made the wrong travel choice. Should have gone in the car, it's quicker. If you're ever on a train and you look out of the window and you're overtaking me and I can't be bothered to race you, it's because I'm on my way to the new Dutch death clinic.
You know that windmills of your mind sequence in the car?
Yeah.
Well, you made the Alpha look really good in that.
Yes.
Yeah, but what if somebody buys one? You don't want that on your conscience, do you?
What do you mean? It was a brilliant... I needed to...
Anyway, I have the results here of the laps. And, well, in third place, you in the Xenos. Second place, you in the Alpha. First place, the winner was me in the Mazda. But it was a hollow victory because I ruined an ancient piece of sculpture.
Yes, but here's the thing, OK? After the weight test and the speed test we did, we've learned... nothing.
Yes, nothing. Nothing at all.
Literally nothing at all. Hello! Welcome to the Grand Tour. Happy Christmas. This week we are coming, if you can see through the drizzle dribbling down the windows, from Scandinavia. Oh, yeah. This, of course, is the home of those gloomy dramas where a weird woman in a jumper solves a murder by staring at a lake for 6 hours. This will probably be the jolliest programme to come out of this neck of the woods since...
4 funerals and a funeral.
Yeah. Swedish rom-com, that was.
When Harry shot Sally.
Oh, laugh a minute.
The girl with the pearl necklace. No. That's another sort of Scandinavian film. Yeah. Anyway, specifically, we are deep inside the Arctic Circle in Finland. There you go. And Finland, of course, is home to every single racing driver currently... What?
All of them?
Well, apart from Nico Rosberg, who is Finnish, but for some reason claims he's German. Why does he do that? I have no idea.
Who else is there, then?
Well, there's Mika Salo, Mika Hakkinen, Kimi Räikkönen...
Hang on, they're just anagrams of the same name, aren't they?
Well, then you've got rallying. There's Tommi Mäkinen, Timo Mäkinen, Juha Kankkunen, Ari Vartinen...
More anagrams.
Kinky Wankinen... Manky Pantenden... Really? I'm slightly carried away now.
Seriously, I went on Wikipedia last night to look for famous Finns who aren't racing drivers and put it up. Here's the list, this is what I found. And I noticed something. They're all men. All of them.
Are there any famous Finnish women? Finnish people? No, they're all, I know why, OK? It's because all Finnish women at the age of 19 moved to England to be au pairs. I actually had 3 Finnish au pairs over the years for my children.
Did you?
Yeah, and it was always funny. You'd go to Heathrow Airport to pick up your new au pair, and there'd always be a row of 30-something fathers waiting at the gate for the Scandinavian au pair to come out. And there was one year I've never forgotten. This huge moose lumbered out of the door, and the man next to me looked at his piece of paper and went, "Oh, for God's sake." If you're watching this in America, you may be amazed to hear that the Ford Mustang has never been sold officially in the UK.
Well, until now, because Ford has now decided that the latest Mustang will be sold in the UK with a V8 engine and right-hand drive.
And this has made our other resident American very happy. He was so excited, in fact, that when the first right-hand drive Mustang arrived at the docks in the UK, he was actually there to meet it.
4 o'clock. For a church.
My tour of Britain was then interrupted by an unwelcome arrival.
What are you doing here?
Well, I have come to remind you, because you've obviously forgotten because you're too giddy, that we have no need for the Mustang in Britain. Because if you want to spend, what, £35,000 on a fast Ford, you'd buy a Focus RS, because that was designed for here.
No, you'd settle for that in the UK because you couldn't buy this, but now you can. That is the point. That's what I mean.
Would you wear chaps? No, because we have trousers. What about cowboy? Oh, you are cowboy boots.
Well, it's appropriate, isn't it? I'm welcome. Listen, I don't want everything from America. I just want the Mustang.
Stupid.
No, America.
It wasn't designed for here. Would you wear a Stetson?
Well,
It's
no.
cold out, I'll wear a Stetson. No, you'd wear a bobble hat. That's a bobble hat.
Oh,
You...
no, hang on. I've just realised.
What?
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Anyway, we shall pick that up later on. But right now, it's time to drop in a cog and hook a left into Conversation Street. Serious, it's serious.
It is serious stuff, this.
Now, look, in Britain, we're always being told that the Scandinavians are brilliant at driving, and that's because, well, of course they would be, because they have to deal with all that snow.
They're brilliant because what they do most of all is crash.
Well, you're absolutely right, as it turns out, because I've got some interesting statistics here. In Britain, 1.2% of accidents result in fatalities. Here, I'm afraid, it's 5.1%.
Yeah, and it's not just the Finns either, if I may be so bold. Our senior international producer, that's his job title, came over to Finland the other day, rented himself a BMW at the airport, not a Ford or an Opel, you'll note, a BMW, and on his way to the location here, this happened.
It did.
He did. When I say he's our senior international producer, he's now our junior international producer.
Well, a junior local producer. Very local, specifically the stationery company.
Yeah,
He can produce that.
that's all he's in charge of from now. How did he do that?
Thing is, what I don't understand is how the Finns managed to go fast enough to have a crash of any sort at all. Because the speeding fines here are insane. They're means tested, which means a guy here recently was caught doing 49 miles an hour through a 30 zone, and he was fined €112,000. That's a speeding fine.
Are they really that high in Finland?
Yes.
112,000
euros.
Imagine getting that in the post.
Well, it's interesting, actually. There was a Finnish minister recently said that the government needs those speeding fines to balance the books, they said. They actually said speeding is good for the country.
There we
That is actually what
It is. Every country.
Right. We should adopt that.
Speeding is good for you.
It's a social duty.
bit more conversation for you.
Oh, good.
I think, with the exception of Rolls-Royce, Volvo now make the best car interiors of anybody.
No. No.
They do. They're
No,
very,
you're right.
very good.
No, weirdly, I don't like to, but I agree with you, because I went in the new S90 the other day, and the interior is superb.
No, we've got a picture of it here. And
Yes,
the thing
that
about
one.
it is, they use pale colours. They've got pale-coloured seats, pale-coloured carpets, pale wood, and that makes it feel light and airy and spacious. Yeah. The only problem is that in one of those, you couldn't enjoy a chocolate Magnum ice cream.
It's all right, I don't eat ice cream. I think it's something to do with being straight. What?
What? Are you applauding him? What do you mean? Are you saying everyone who likes ice cream?
Well, I mean, ice cream is a bit, you know...
You're saying all children are homosexual?
No, but there's nothing wrong with it. But a grown man eating an ice cream, it's, you know, it's a bit... It's that way rather than that way. It just... It is...
Welcome to the inside of Richard Hammond's head.
I'm right. I can't believe
thing
you
is-
can't see that. It's a fact. It's easy. It's in front of you.
You could enjoy a 99 in there.
You mean a 69?
No, 99. But you couldn't have the chocolate thingy.
My case rests.
Oh, the chocolate thing.
Do I?
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
No, but if you had a Volvo, if you had that Volvo, you could have a white Magnum.
True.
Or a Milky Bar.
Yeah, but not a double-decker.
Well, a flake is worse.
No, double-decker's worse. Double-decker, do you all know what I mean by the double-decker, right? Because it is unique among chocolate confectionery items. Take a bite as you're driving along, and a bit about this big, OK, silently breaks away. Goes down between your legs and melts. So when you get out of the car, everybody thinks you've had some kind of trouser accident. Big brown stain, right?
I know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
Happen.
Yeah. A flake is worse.
I mean, it just
A
isn't.
flake is advertised as the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate. It is worse.
This is a hot topic on Conversation
It
Street.
is.
And I think we should settle it here and now. I'm going to go into our travelling box. Our travelling box of chocolate confectionery, and I'm going to... Let's settle it. Competition, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you James's flake.
flake.
You, the double-decker.
Right, so I'll
Sort it
just
out.
turn
Eat
that
it
over
your-
so
your
then we'll
notes
see
there, yeah.
how much spills off as I eat the flake.
Yeah.
Not much, right,
This
ready?
is scientific.
Here we go. Oh, some of it's already crumbed. This is cheating, this one.
OK, no, clear away the debris. It has
No,
to
no,
be-
I need to... Jesus.
That's part of eating it.
It isn't part of eating. I haven't even begun
Yeah, but
now,
you've got to
right?
unwrap it. Cheat.
Only the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate.
Oh, God.
Tastes like chocolate.
Jeremy, you know that advert, Girl in the Field of Poppies? We're not seeing that right now.
I am.
I'm not.
Right, ready? Watch this.
He's going in. First bite. Oh, it's a big fall of chocolate. It's a heavy sprinkling, that.
A light dusting of chocolate.
Light dusting, yeah, OK.
Right, James May.
Moving over to this corner, James May and his double-decker. This is exciting, isn't it?
This is a great car programme.
Groundbreaking stuff, yeah.
Quiet, please.
I can't believe this hasn't been done before. He's going in. He's taking a bite. His paw on that. His teeth. Oh! It's a catastrophic fall! The clear winner!
The double-decker is worse than the flake. There's the flake. There's the double-decker.
So there, using science, we have now established...
If you've got a Volvo, don't have a double-decker.
Ever.
Or an ice cream, because he... Oh, no, forget it.
Let's move a little further along Conversation Street, shall we? A few weeks ago, Amazon, they ran an advert for our show, and we were rather pleased. You see, it's got everything in.
Yeah, a sense of travel.
Logo, and there's even the goat. You can see
that's
that. Yeah,
perfect.
good.
That's everything you need there.
All you need for the advert. I can show you here. It's on the screen. It's good, isn't it? Yeah. All the essentials are there. Everything you need. Everything you need to see.
Actually,
All the important stuff.
Hammond, I'm sorry to have to do this to you, but before the show launched, Amazon did another advert, OK, which somebody sent to me on a tweet, which I did a screen grab of, so the quality's not very good, but I have brought it along, OK? Here it is.
Oh, for God's sake.
I like their marketing department a lot. I I think that's enough conversation, Street, so let's get back to our film.
Yes, earlier on, I was in the right-hand drive Ford Mustang, showing it the sights around our country. Unfortunately, he turned up and tried to argue that the similarly priced Ford Focus was a better bet.
Yeah, I did do that.
Yeah, and I responded by driving off and refusing to talk to you.
Bit rudely, I thought.
Meanwhile, having got rid of the ape, I was back on my sightseeing tour.
This is our Cheddar Gorge. Obviously, it's not as big as your gorge. The Grand Canyon is bigger, but it's longer and deeper and wider.
But it doesn't have any cheese in it.
Why can't you just leave me alone?
I'm just saying, everything in America comes with cheese, apart from the Grand Canyon. Whereas this canyon does come with cheese, and it's delicious. Here, have some.
I don't want cheese.
It's better than Monterey Jack in a tube. Can't
You're
eat it.
ruining this.
No, you are, because you are telling everyone that the Mustang is better than the Focus.
Well, it is.
Well, it isn't.
It is.
No, it isn't. Look, I'm not saying this is perfect, because it isn't. There's a vertical choppiness to the ride, which is annoying. If you put your phone in the phone holder in front of the gear lever and then accelerate, it shoots out and goes under the seat, you never see it again. Petrol tank, way too small, and the styling is a bit yobbish.
A bit?
But, Hammond, look at this.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Half a century of Mustang history, heritage and pride, but it hasn't got a small plastic strip on the door in case you're a bit clumsy.
No, it's brilliant, that, and this is faster.
Well, no, it isn't.
It is.
No, it isn't.
It is.
It isn't.
At this point, I decided to abandon my tour and head for the nearest airfield.
Things I don't want to see right now, number one. Here it is.
So, I won then?
Yes, but your car doesn't have a drift button.
A what?
A drift button.
What does that do?
Well, you push it, and then when you go around a corner, the car drifts.
Does it?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'd love to see that in action. I'd love to see you doing that.
Yes.
I'll watch. Yes,
I'm
show
going
me.
to. You stay there.
Oh.
You will not. Even James May could drift this. Here we go!
I can't wait to watch.
Where did you go?
Well, I left you because you were being moronic.
It wasn't.
You were. Seriously, who is going to buy a Ford Focus when for the same money you could have a V8 engine Mustang?
No one.
What?
Nobody would. Mustang's got so much more character.
Hang on, so you agree with me?
Oh, God, yes, if I had the choice of those two cars, I'd have the Mustang every day of the week.
So you ruined my day out for no reason at all?
I ruined your day out because it was fun to ruin your day out.
Good work.
It was good work. Sorry about that, but anyway, we must now find out how fast those Fords go round our track. And that, of course, means handing them over to our other resident American, where the Focus went. So, there it is. Faster than an ST200, perhaps not surprising.
Just as well.
Now let's bring up the Mustang. Oh. Right, well, that's not embarrassing, is it? The car that you, me, and the American all prefer is quite a lot slower than the European Focus.
Yes.
If you're watching this on the day the programme is actually released, it is December the 23rd. There are 2 days to go until Christmas, and if you're a man, you won't have done any shopping yet.
But don't worry, because we've got you back. We have trawled the internet and the shops to find the best gift ideas.
Yes, and here in our special Grand Tour Santaland Grotto. Yeah.
Nice view, nice everything.
Yeah. We begin with this rather brilliant tray, which apparently is the ideal place to put your laptop or your breakfast. We have a picture of it in action here.
I can see a couple of problems with that.
Yeah, I can too.
What else have we got?
Well, now, the reason I don't play chess anymore is it's just so exhausting to move the pieces around.
Oh, I know what you mean.
They're far too heavy, picking the queen up and moving her along, but it's OK, because Ferrari has answered that problem with this. It's a lightweight carbon fibre chess set. And it's yours for £1,400.
How much?
£1,400. And that is the funny thing. You take something ordinary, write your car name on it, and suddenly it becomes expensive. This bear, for example. I know about bears. It's an acrylic fibre stuffed with industrial waste. £2.75. But because it's got a Honda T-shirt on, £10. £10.
Yes, but it's Honda Bear.
Or it's...
I love that Christmas morning, Honda Bear. I love following his adventures.
How about this lovingly crafted I love my Hyundai pillowcase?
What woman is ever going to leap into bed with the man whose pillows bear that legend?
OK, Hammond, I'll tell you exactly what woman. The woman who would wear this thong, which has written lovingly on the front, the legend Elantra.
Erotic! Erotic! Can I just say the perfect Christmas gift for the Hyundai owner is a BMW?
Well, yes, look, we realised that branding stuff, obviously there's some money in it, so we thought, since we're in Scandinavia, we would launch our own range of car-branded Christmas jumpers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Talk among yourselves, everybody.
Hold on a moment.
This is modelling time.
Mine is a simple turtleneck, very, very warm, bearing the name of a legend on the front. I know, it's very special, very Christmassy. Yep.
I have gone for a very cuddly and Christmassy cardigan bearing the name, as you can see, of a car I absolutely adore.
Yeah, and here's the thing, OK? Mine is a crew neck, actually. Where's everybody? Why are you applauding?
I think... Is it because I haven't seen us in knitwear before? Anyway, we've had a go at making some Grand Tour branded stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing, we haven't gone for the obvious stuff like jumpers and mugs and umbrellas. We've gone for things that other people haven't thought of. Things like this, hemorrhoid cream. We all need it.
I don't.
No, I don't either.
Well, this is mine. Bought it for £2.75, but now it's got Grand Tour on it. We could sell that for £20.
Tell you what really good idea we've had is condoms, OK, which have been, well, they've been branded with well-known expressions and phrases that we often say. I'm going to demonstrate using this...
Whoa! You flatter yourself, sir.
Au contraire.
Oh, really?
So we simply roll the condom over the rolling pin. Here it is. There's the GT logo coming up. And on the other side, how hard can it be?
We're very pleased.
Pretty damn hard for a man of my age.
We're very pleased with these. Various of our slogans have been used. I'm going to put mine on this disappointingly small carrot. And it bears one of my expressions. I can't...
Don't bite it.
Well, I can't open the thing, can I?
Use my... No, there's one of those little tear things.
Hold on, love. I'll be with you in a minute.
No.
Look, you're not going to be here to help me when I'm using it, are you?
You don't know.
Oh, bloody do. I'm pretty sure you won't be.
No, it's quite the wrong thing to say. Are you in?
Yeah, I mean,
Can I have my glasses? Can I have my glasses back? No, I want my glasses back before you start
Right, hang on.
messing around with sex things.
Oh, right, let me just... Oh, it's a bit baggy. I've actually torn it with my teeth, which makes the slogan on it quite appropriate, really. That's not gone well.
Can I just say that is by far and away the least erotic thing I have ever...
Don't tell me that's not an unfamiliar sight.
Oh, have you done one as well?
Of course I have. Very sensibly, I put mine on earlier.
Whoa!
Branded with the GT logo and my own personal catchphrase, I was the first to arrive.
Now, are you bored with having two fully functioning ankles?
Yes? Well, don't worry if you are, because this Christmas the market is awash with products designed specifically to break them, such as this iBot 9.
I thought that was a vacuum cleaner.
No, it's incredibly heavy because it's packed full of pain.
Basically, you put these things out on the side, yeah, you stand on that and you whiz about, but within seconds of getting on there, you will be falling over and breaking your ankles.
Probably so.
Yes, and on the other hand, there are also these. These are called the Rocket Skates. They will cost you just £900 and they are guaranteed to power you straight to casualty.
Hey, look, they're fine.
Well,
No, they're really not.
Oh, well, you're all right. I could have a go on those.
really?
Who'd like to see that?
You said it.
Honestly, I mean, honestly. How hard can it be? See, I knew it would come in handy. I can bludgeon... No, seriously, I'll have a go
Off
there.
you go,
Really?
mate.
Yeah. Can I wear my shoes in them? Are they like ski boots?
Yes, Jeremy, apart from they've got wheels and you're indoors.
This
I
is
am not
just-
going near them, by the way.
Just put my foot in them.
I don't want to.
It's not that... I can't see what
It's degrading and unpleasant.
Do I supposed to take the
Put your
shoes off?
great cloven hoof in there. It fits. You can go to the ball. There.
Thank
you're
you
in.
very much.
Now what are you going to do? You're not going to do it. Is that it? Have you started?
Not yet. Might have faced the other way, hadn't I?
Looking good.
These are worth every... What were they cost? 900 quid.
900
Literally
quid.
every penny.
Wait, hold it there, hold it there. Look out, girls, Mr. Darcy's arrived.
Looking good. Oh, this is brilliant.
Wow. I can see why they're called rocket skates. Come on, man.
Oh, God! He was trying to move. What do you mean, lean back?
Jeremy.
What?
Stephen Hawking would make a better job of his rocket skates than you.
Right.
Where are you going?
You got to get one.
Do you remember that being? Whoa! It's a disaster.
Shit. Sorry.
Don't worry, Jeremy. I will come and rescue on my 9-bar. Bloody hell! Oh my God, it's going mad. Right. Put my foot on there and I go like
This is
that.
a really good ambulance service.
Yep. Don't worry, I'll be there in a minute. I don't know that this works.
I've got again! Shit. I've got cramp. Ah!
That was a brilliant idea, but never mind, because I have a perfect Christmas present here. You control this with your mobile phone and your face comes on it. And the brilliant thing about it is that it means you can have your favourite celebrity around to your house for Christmas lunch. And with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome into the studio? He's actually in his office in London, and yet he's also here on top of a stick. It's Bob Geldof!
We've got to say hello to Bob.
Oh, say hello to Bob!
He's coming. Hang on.
Oh, look, he's going circles.
It's Bob Geldof, everybody!
Hello, Bob, where have you gone? Bob, we're over here, Bob.
Bob!
Bob, we're over here.
Where are you?
He's there!
Bob, you've gone the wrong
Bob
way.
Geldof, how are you?
Yes. Happy Christmas.
Oh,
Are you
the
having a
word
good Christmas, Bob?
oh no, he's Bob! Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Geldof is lost!
It's gone in the wrong direction.
Oh, James May's coming to join in. This
I'm
is
coming to
bad
talk to
news.
Bob Geldof.
Whoa! May has kissed Bob Geldof.
Hello, Bob.
Get
How
out
are
of
you?
the way. I'm travelling.
No, straight ahead, Bob. Bob, no, left hand down, Bob. No, Bob. Bob, you...
I just attacked somebody's knob.
Bob, stop attacking the crowd. Now, where's he going?
Right, I'll rescue Bob. Hold on. Straight ahead, Bob. That's perfect. Straight ahead, straight. A bit of right hand down, bit of right hand down. No, don't drive into it. Stop head-butting the tree.
This is ridiculous. Where's the reindeers and Santa Claus at?
Oh, no, hang on a minute. He's ruined Christmas. Does he know it's Christmas time at all?
Well, tonight, thank God it's him instead of us knocking the Christmas tree.
Absolutely right. He's ruined it.
Hello and welcome to a Grand Tour special, which begins with this. The Volkswagen Beetle. It's a car we hate, Very much, because it appeals only to Nazis and hippies, and we are neither of those things.
However, if you remove the bodywork and replace it with something a bit more fun, something like this, you end up with a beach buggy, and that's brilliant.
We love beach buggies. However, Mr. Willman disagrees. He says that if they'd been any good, they would have caught on. And he points out that they didn't.
So he hatched a plan, and it's this. He said all three of us must buy a Volkswagen Beetle, turn it into a beach buggy, and then report with it to a wild, rugged, and extremely remote place here on the coast of Namibia.
This is what I've built. It's as close as you can possibly get to the original 1964 beach buggy built by Bruce Myers. Underneath, it is a 1950s Beetle. Beetle floor pan, Beetle suspension, Beetle engine, Beetle gearbox. It's got Beetle lights on it. I've even got a Beetle speedometer and Beetle hubcaps. It's brilliant. This is a beach buggy very like the one that Steve McQueen drove in the original Thomas Crown affair. And if it's good enough for... Oh, God. I've been joined by the 1970s.
Yes, James May has built what a beach buggy was. What I've built is what a beach buggy can be. If you have a bit of imagination and some purple metal flake paint. There, I believe, is the start point of our adventure. What an extraordinary place.
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, more seals.
What David Attenborough never told us about those is how bad they smell.
Sadly, before our nature documentary could go any further, Richard Hammond emerged from the mist.
Oh, hello. That's not a beach buggy, is it?
Well, I wouldn't call that. Oh, jeez.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Tari.
Behold!
What are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
I'm in Africa.
These trousers, did they say in the shop, I'm afraid they are yellow, sir.
When you left, they went, yes, 20 years we've had those on the hanger.
And then we must move over to this.
Yeah.
We were told to build beach buggies.
Yes.
Beach buggies.
It's not a beach buggy.
It isn't, Hammond.
It is a beach buggy.
It isn't a beach buggy. It's got a roof.
It is.
There's no Beetle in here at all.
Yes, there is. Beetle engine in there.
Hammond, OK, this space frame chassis...
Yeah.
Is that from a Beetle?
No.
These enormous suspension components
Yes.
that don't even fit under the bodywork.
Well, you've got two lots of suspension at the back. Why have
Twin
you got
shocks. Well,
twin shocks?
you know, I like an off-road sort of vibe.
To get here, we had to drive on a beach.
Yeah.
Ours have made it.
I didn't need two lots of rear suspension on mine.
Neither did I.
Look, we were told to come to Africa.
Yes.
If we'd been told to go to Santa Monica Beach, then this, with its incredibly vivid paint, that's the most metal flake I've ever seen
Any
on...
beach in the world.
Hang on. What's that?
That's the engine.
What engine is it?
V8. I'll put a V8 in a beach buggy.
Well, no, you haven't. You've parked your beach buggy quite close. It's not in it.
It isn't in it. No. You've reversed into a V8, but not quite hard enough. It's only gone in a third of the way.
Do you have any idea how difficult it is to fit a V8 to a beach buggy?
Well, it doesn't
It's obviously impossible.
Evidently, it's impossible.
This is no ordinary V8. Started out in life as a 3.5-litre V8 from a Range Rover, but I've modified it. So it produces 180 horsepower.
Can I just say,
you were doubting the credibility of mine as a beach buggy.
Yeah.
The defining characteristic of a beach buggy is its air-cooled flat-4 Beetle engine.
No, that's not an engine, James. That's just a fan. How many horsepower does yours have?
94.
So I have twice as many horsepower. Shall I tell you something?
They're not in the car, though.
No,
They are. They're near it.
Yes.
It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, that
Yes,
is
it is
Nothing about that is interesting.
Well, this is a blank canvas onto which you can paint your personality.
Yes.
Yours has got a prolapse V8 hanging out of its backside and terrible paint. Mine is a rather magnificent Daktari-themed off-roader. That's got nothing on it. You can express
It's a bit
all
boring,
your
James.
personality in your standard.
It's not... What do you mean standard?
Well,
it's
it's
a beach
standard.
buggy.
It's-
It's tasteful.
What? Oh.
The bat sat phone. We've had a message from Mr. Willman.
Right, go on.
Since you're in beach buggies, well, us two are. Since you're in beach buggies, you will now drive to the beach. Do you think he's taken leave of his senses?
Well, he was never that good at geography, was he?
No, he wasn't. You'll now drive to the beach. Hold on. Oh, no, there's more. The beach to which you will drive is located on the crocodile-infested Queen River at the northernmost point of Namibia, where it meets Angola. It's 1,000 miles away.
1,000 miles.
1,000.
What we needed at this point was a map. So we decided to head north up the coast and find the nearest town.
Let the journey begin!
It's not a hotel.
No. Smells of excrement.
Oh, wow, look at this. There's still, like, plates and cups and saucers and things in here.
I'll tell you exactly what this is. It's an abandoned mine.
They do mine round in Namibia, don't they? What do they mine for?
Diamonds.
Diamonds?
Yeah, but they wouldn't have left if there were any. And they obviously left, and not yesterday. Look, there's no road here, is there?
No.
No.
But apart from anything else, we can't find our way around in the dark because we can't navigate. We don't have any means. How?
How?
Stars.
No, you can't.
I can.
No, you can't.
I can't do very many things, I admit. Anything, but I can do that.
OK, how do you navigate by the stars?
Find the Southern Cross.
Yeah, but that's really complicated.
Right, do you want to sleep in the excrement mine? No, this is out. So, we have to keep going, whether we like it or not, till we find... We have to. So, listen, I shall find the Southern Cross.
You can't find the Southern Cross with
found
a
it.
hammer.
Ha! I
have you?
found it. It's there. It's like a kite.
That one there?
Yeah, there's a kite shape. It's sort of... Now, you take the DeLong axis, yes?
Yes.
And draw an imaginary line through it down to the horizon. Yes? Now you intersect it from a line drawn between two other stars, and where those two imaginary lines meet, directly underneath it is due south. So, if it's those two, which it is, I'm sure of it, you draw a line.
Oh, this is a bad idea. We are now trusting our lives to an orangutan who thinks he's Patrick Moore.
There it is. There's the two stars. Draw a line.
Not getting many directions from you, Jeremy. Is this right?
You're heading a little bit too much to the right. You need to go left a bit.
Good, good. Oh, I'm so confident.
You two are going to be eating humble pie when the sun comes up.
Despite the confidence of Jeremy Columbus, no road appeared.
Oh, this is grim.
Excuse me. Been on the go a very, very long time now.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm not driving another inch. I can't do this. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm exhausted.
He does have a point.
The next morning, we woke having slept on the sand, huddled round our engines for warmth.
You muppet. What's that?
What?
I never knew Namibia had 2 seas.
It doesn't have 2 seas.
No, it has one massive sea in it, one massive stupid sea that's navigated us back to where we started.
Can I just say?
Yes.
Why did we even believe you could navigate?
Well,
you
that-
can't even
honestly,
read a compass.
There are 2 seas. There's 2 seas here for believing that that sea could navigate.
No,
us.
you're right.
I couldn't possibly... Well, it's really... I don't understand that.
Freezing cold, sandpapered on
You've
the
got
face.
a coat on.
It's thin. Have you felt it?
No, I haven't even got a thin coat.
I've only got a T-shirt. Anyway, I'm not going to get competitive with you about who's the coldest.
I'm the
We're all the
coldest.
lostest.
Never mind. Look, let's not get bogged down with whose fault it was.
There's no being bogged down with it, is there? It was yours.
We can either go back into the desert to look for a road, or we can just do what we were doing yesterday and stay on the beach. At least we know if we keep the sea on our left, we're going north.
That's a fair point.
Let's navigate by the sea.
Yes.
Tastes like fish, doesn't it? OK, does anybody want a beer?
Have you got some?
No.
Oh, you... That deserves a stabbing.
That is a proper
That's
stabbing.
properly out of order.
We were less than 100 miles from the finish line. So, after supper, we decided to have a conversation, well, argument, about who'd built the best beach buggy.
The point is, yours isn't a beach buggy.
My car,
Yeah.
apart from having a beach buggy's body and the beating, pulsating heart of a beach buggy, namely a Beetle engine.
I look at yours and go, that doesn't even look like a beach buggy.
It does, and it is. It's a beach buggy enhanced, but in the spirit of beach buggy.
isn't.
Jeremy, yours is a freak. Had it existed 100 years ago, would have been exhibited. People who come from hundreds of miles around, and the children would have peeked through it at the curtains. Oh, look at the monster.
The point is, I have always loved the spirit of the beach buggy. I love the era that created it and all of that. But the one thing that's made me, I don't like it, is the engine reminds me of Hitler. I have removed all of that Hitler DNA from mine, fitted a bloody great V8.
It's gone too far. It's Frankenstein's buggy.
I can settle this. Yours isn't a proper beach buggy.
It isn't.
But it's more of a beach buggy than yours.
Oh, rubbish.
Because the true spirit of the beach buggy is the Beetle floor pan and engine, which his has. Yours doesn't have the engine. Mine actually has everything. Mine is the proper beach buggy.
I'm sorry about this, James, but...
You're not.
Your car was created by the swinging 60s and endorsed by Steve McQueen, one of the coolest people who ever lived. And yet somehow you have managed to make your beach buggy boring.
It is a bit. It is
boring.
It is. It's a boring firework display.
It is.
It's boring in that it works.
No, James,
It's only-
it doesn't
Wait
work.
a minute. The only thing that has gone wrong with my car is a small leak in the petrol tank. Everything else about it has constantly worked.
Do you know, every time I've overtaken you, I've looked thought, that's dismal.
It isn't. It has an elegance and a purity. And when you say you've never come past me, I come past you every 30 miles because you've run out of fuel. It wheelies, the throttle sticks, the alternator falls off, bolts fall out of it.
It does. The alternator.
You've had to fit a wing on it, which completely ruins the looks. It's not in the spirit of the beach buggy. It's in the spirit of a man desperately trying to justify a terrible idea.
It was a brilliant idea when
It doesn't work.
I'm fairly conscious right now your car is drinking the fuel out of mine like a sort of plastic vampire.
Look, mine has been thirsty.
Thirsty?
Yes.
We continued arguing until Giovanni reminded us it was time to go to bed. But I didn't go to bed because I had business to attend to. The next morning, as we resumed our journey, I was feeling rather philosophical.
I once saw an old lady fall over and drop her shopping bag on the opposite side of the road, and her shopping fell out. And amongst it was an Easter egg, which I assumed she'd bought for a grandchild or something, and it rolled into the road and got run over by a car, and it was the most tragic thing I've ever seen. Until I saw the front of my car this morning.
Why have I stopped?
Hammond!
Come
Why
on!
have I- I've stopped!
Hammond!
It's just stopped! What can I do? It's just stopped!
There's like 200 metres to go.
Well, I don't have anything to do with it. It's not up to me. Is there nothing you can do?
Sadly, James was too drunk to think, and I'm mechanically inept. Plus, whatever had gone wrong at the top. And we were at the bottom.
Move, move, move!
There's literally nothing we can do. We've assessed everything and you're in a hopeless position.
Let's have another beer.
We're going to have to conclude, I'm afraid, that Mr. Willman was right, that the beach buggy is no good. Danke und willkommen in the Große Tor, which this week comes from Germany. We're here. Specifically, we are in the city of Stuttgart, except we nearly weren't, because one of your local Green politicians tried to ban us from coming here. Now, I don't want to embarrass the poor man on television, so I've hidden his identity. Yeah.
That's good. That's appropriate.
And, I certainly don't want to tell you his name, which is Andreas Kasdorf. Not a popular man, but you elected him. Anyway, he says that we'd be unwelcome here because this is a very bicycle-friendly place. No, it isn't. It's the home of Mercedes and Porsche. And Germany... Exactly. Germany is the cradle of the automobile. The car was actually invented here. It's the last place on earth you can drive a car as fast as it will go on the motorway. True, all true. This is a true fact. This is a true fact. The Germans are the only people on earth who really know how to make a car. It's a true fact.
That is true. You're coming on.
I'll tell you a story. There was a Mercedes engineer and a Jaguar engineer having dinner one night. And the Mercedes engineer said, we have, forgive the accent, we have a quality test at the Mercedes factory. Every night we take a car off the line at random. We put a cat in it. Close the doors. If when we come back in the morning, we know the door seals are working correctly if the cat has suffocated. No. Now, the Jaguar engineer said, yeah, we've got something very similar at our factory. We take a car off the line at random, we put a cat in it, we close the door, and we know the car's been built properly if when we come back in the morning, the cat hasn't escaped. That is,
true story.
Yeah, true story. The strange thing is, it isn't just cars that are built well here, it's absolutely everything.
Except wine.
Yes,
Yeah, except wine.
for wine.
Sorry.
That is...
Well, come on.
Oh, now, come
Really?
on.
You drink that stuff?
Yeah. I wouldn't wash my hair in it.
Sure?
No, it is literally everything, though. I mean, German soft toys, better than anybody else's soft toys. Cameras, kitchen appliances. The Queen of England, she's German. She is. That's why she's still working, even though she's 117 years old. There is no word here for that'll do. There is no ambiguity at all in Germany. You certainly see this with films, OK? The names you have for American films. I've got some here. OK, you remember Airplane?
Airplane, yeah.
Airplane, yes. In Germany, it was called The Unbelievable Journey in a Crazy Airplane.
That is a comprehensive title, isn't it? You know where you are with
Yeah. What was Jaws? The what? The Visor? The White Shark?
it should have been the massive shark that explodes eventually would have come. You know where you're going with that.
What was Basic Instinct? Just not a brief glimpse of Sharon Stone's vagina.
Yes, great. Shall we get on with the show?
Let's do that by popping some loose change in the ticket machine so we can park a while on Conversation Street.
OK, now, I've got some conversation.
Good.
Good.
Last night at midnight, there was an alarm in Stuttgart. The Green Party that runs the city asked really everyone here not to use wood-burning stoves and not to drive their car today.
Why?
Because of the smog. Am I making this up? There it is.
I can't imagine anything clearer.
That is gin clear, but according to the Green Party, I'm not making this up. You're all from Stuttgart, yes? There is an alarm today because of the smog.
How clear is it on a good day?
I know. We've got a photograph here of Beijing on now. Let us compare and contrast Beijing on a smoggy day with Stuttgart on a...
Not the same, is
a
it?
smoggy day. Now, can I just ask, what would you have done if they'd have actually ordered you not to drive cars? You know, at the moment it's an advisory. If they'd said you are banned from driving cars, what would you have done? Come on the train? That's unbelievable.
But this is the thing that we don't really understand about Germany. Once something becomes a rule, it is a rule. In fact, I once had a very interesting conversation with two friends of mine. One is from California and one is from Germany. And we were talking about losing your driving licence. And the Californian said, in Germany, what would happen if you lost your licence and then you drove your car? And the German said, no, you cannot do this. And he says, yeah, I know, but what if, I know you're not supposed to, but what if you did? He says, no, you cannot drive, you have no licence. And the Californian went, yeah, man, but, late one night, you go for a drive. And the German went, it is impossible to drive without a licence!
Impossible!
Impossible!
Actually, there's an interesting thing I discovered here. On a motorway, OK, obviously you can drive as fast as you like here, and you get people sometimes, not often, because your lane discipline is unbelievable, but sometimes they sit in the outside lane just dawdling. If you tailgate them, OK, now I've got the fines here, you get a €400 fine, 2 penalty points, and a 3-month ban for tailgating.
That is extreme.
Yes?
Ouch.
Right, but if you overtake them on the inside, just go past them on the inside, that's a €150 fine and 1 point.
Oh, my God.
No. This is where it gets really good. If you go on the hard shoulder to overtake them, the emergency lane, OK, that's also 1 point, but only €90 fine.
There's your answer, that's what you do.
No, because... You may think that, but if you fit your car with blue lights, flashing blue lights, basically you turn your car into a police car, you get, we've got the point fines here, €20 fine and no points at all.
What? You're joking.
Blue lights.
No, you've got to understand.
Is that true?
That is very strange to our ears, because if you tried that at home in the UK, you would be charged with impersonating a police officer, and you would never get out of prison, ever.
No, people say Germans have no sense of humour. If you want to know what no sense of humour is, impersonate a policeman in Britain. Then you'll know what no sense of humour is. Right, that is the end of Conversationstrasse. Do you all like the idea of a sports utility vehicle, a car that can handle the Australian outback at a weekend, and then set a new lap record at Hockenheim on a Monday morning? But even the German car makers can't seem to make the concept work. I mean, we've got this from Audi, the RSQ3, which is a dismal car. BMW have the X4, I think that's called. Don't want one of those either. Mercedes have this horrible monster. Certainly can't. They're all just rubbish.
And let me guess, you have a solution.
Yes, I do.
Oh, God.
Yes, I do. A car that is both sporty and utilitarian.
This'll be good.
Ye of little faith, watch this.
The internal organs from a Land Rover Discovery mated to the beautiful skin of a glamorous Mercedes SL. To create a vision of pure... what's the word?
Rubbish.
It's not rubbish.
Did you paint it with a brush or a bucket?
It's got those headlights that swivel when you go around a bend, look, so that they point at the road.
OK, let me ask you this. Which would you rather have, the Excellent or that Porsche?
That Porsche.
Why?
Because it's better in every single way.
To prove my cynical colleagues wrong, I invited them to go for a drive.
Oh, kind.
You see, it's an optional extra for the shorter gentleman. You comfy, Hammond?
No. No, is this as in as I can get?
Yeah. Oh. Right, listen to this.
Oh, no, it moves.
We'd only gone a few miles before Richard and James completely quickly changed their minds and realised that the Excellent was the best car they'd ever been in.
No, we haven't. Stop saying things in voiceover that aren't true.
Is it not? I thought you changed your mind.
No, maybe a bit. It's worse than I thought.
Can I put the heater on?
That's not connected.
Is it not?
No.
What's that dial down there but left of the steering?
Speedometer.
Well, why have you got that one, not that one?
That doesn't work.
Has it got a fuel gauge?
Not as such.
Has it got a temperature gauge?
Not really.
There's a lot of wires hanging out of the dash that aren't connected to things.
You haven't given it an interior. I can see the road.
I can as well.
No, there's a hole in the floor.
While Hammond and May had one or two minor issues, they both agreed that if I were to put my car into production, it would make me a fortune.
No, we didn't agree to that either.
Look, I've done the maths, honestly. The Discovery was 2,500, Mercedes 4,500, £7,000 of the work, that's 14,000 quid. I could sell this for 120,000.
No, you couldn't.
Yes, I could. A Cayenne Turbo is 120.
A Cayenne Turbo is a proper car built by Porsche. This is two scrap cars glued together by a Muppet.
It isn't designed for people like you.
What?
Oh.
People with eyes? People who can dress themselves in the morning?
I'll tell you exactly who will buy this car.
People who use roundy-ended scissors.
Footballers.
No, they won't.
Footballers like Ferraris.
Yeah, and Bentleys and Range Rovers and Aston Martins and all
Not
that.
this thing.
Having established that all top professional footballers loved my car, we got back on the road.
So did you get any orders?
Do you know, I noticed that the car park was still full of Mercedes G-Class when we left.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Listen, I could put this into an auction, one of those posh market ones, and it would sell for £120,000.
It would not!
To prove them wrong again,
Gentlemen, yes. People are examining bags.
Yeah, they're the organisers.
They're the organisers.
They're wondering about their carpet.
Handcrafted by a renowned British atelier. Sympathetically marries the chassis of the
Yes.
esteemed...
Did you write that?
You hammered that
course I
bit
wrote
onto
it.
that bit. The interior would benefit from some minor attention.
Well, it
yes,
would.
with a hand grenade.
Lot number 132,
soon the auction was underway.
Ferrari 308 GTB at £118,000. Lot number 127, start me with this at 300,000.
And many of the punters were happy to pay six-figure sums for the cars on offer.
At 270,000. 285 for the Countach.
The Countach just went for £285,000. I think I'm going to sell the
At
Excellent for
285,
more
you're
than
out.
this.
And then it was time.
Moving on to lot number 138A, the Excellent. It's a fantastic handcrafted, very unusual machine, as you can see.
Don't want you with.
A beautiful, stylish Mercedes-Benz coachwork. Again, very unusual, unique, and one-off motor car here for sale this afternoon. Start me, if you will, on this at £425. At £425. Any advance at 400? £500. 550 anywhere. 550 here. 600 here. 650. 650. 700 now.
Rattling
At 650. 700 anywhere. 700 here. 700. 800 now. Let's go for 1,000. Let's get going. Come on, let's sell this car. £1,000 here on my right.
Are you bidding?
£1,500, £1,500 here, 2,000 if you wish. It's 2,000 and 5, 2,500, 3,000 now. It's 3,000 here, 3,500 anywhere, 3,100. At 3,100, £3,200. At 3,500
Cost me 14,000.
4,000. At £4,000. At £4,000 anymore. At £4,000. Come and see us after. Thank you very much.
You just lost 10 grand. You could have just thrown it down the
The Jaguar
lavatory.
Mark II, start me on this ad if you will. £30,000 anywhere? 30,000? 20,000 then. Let's get going. 20,000.
20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20,000. 20
Hold on. You were bidding on your own car.
Well, a bit. I just wanted to get, you know, the ball rolling.
But even then it didn't work because you only sold it for £4,000. It cost you 14,000 to make, so you cost our production company £10,000.
No, not true. I put a reserve on it.
What reserve?
£100,000.
100,000?
So it didn't sell at all, which means you cost us £14,000.
Well, yes, but we've ended up with the excellent.
No, we're stuck with the excellent.
It's really difficult to know working with you. Things like this. Is it ambition or are you a lunatic?
Sadly, there isn't time to answer that question. Welcome to the Grand Tour, which this week comes to you from Nashville. There it is. It's a city that was named after General Nash, big war hero, kicked the British out. You ended up with independence, and how's that working out for you? I mean, I only asked because we were looking the other day at the best-selling cars in America these days. This is the top 5. There you go, that's independence. Working well. Toyota, Honda, Toyota, Nissan, Honda.
So what is actually made in Detroit these days, then?
Well, mostly they just grow sustainable organic peace beans. No, it's just women with armpit hair growing kale. That's all that's going on there. Municipal farms for the community. Now, the reason we've come to Nashville is very simple. In fact, it's because I've been to all 50 of the US states, but I've never been here before. And what a town!
Yeah.
It's Who knew?
We are loving it.
Who knew?
It is a great place. We're loving it. And the music is amazing. Loving that.
Not really.
Mate, you can't... This is known as Music City, USA. That's what it is. It's where we are.
But it isn't, is it? Because Detroit is.
Oh, no. Listen. No. Motown is just 3 minutes of jangly nonsense.
Oh, come on, Hammond.
Hammond, it just isn't. You cannot possibly say that. Country and Western music is designed to make you miserable. Motown is designed to make you happy.
No, he's absolutely right. Motown is happier music. I mean, take something like Martha Reeve dancing in the streets, OK? Listen to how happy the words are. Every guy, grab a girl everywhere around the world.
Isn't that what Donald was telling us to do? Well, he was, wasn't he? He did.
No, he said every guy grope a girl.
Oh,
Very
yeah,
different thing.
Right, yeah.
Detroit isn't just Motown. Bob Seger's from Detroit.
It's just housewives' music.
Ted Nugent.
Mad.
Iggy Pop.
Ridiculous.
Madonna.
Annoying.
Eminem.
Can't sing.
Alice Cooper.
Ridiculous again.
Half the Eagles.
Which half?
Glenn Fry.
I don't like that half.
Nashville, right? What's come out of here? Miley Cyrus?
Brilliant!
You just said that out loud on television.
I did.
And the Allman Brothers.
Never heard of them.
You have. The Allman Brothers, they had that one hit, instrumental. What was it called? Jennifer.
Oh, I hated that.
You never hear it anymore, do you?
No. Rubbish.
Weirdest thing. Oh, hello.
We've had a message.
Oh, sorry. This is a message from Mr. Willman. I think we've gone a bit off topic.
He might be cross. We have a bit.
There is actually a car thing here which we ought to talk about. It's called coal rolling. You familiar with this? It has its origins in a sport where people go with their pickup trucks into a field and see who can tow the heaviest thing.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
We've got some footage here of it happening. Look at that, the man in a pickup truck towing a heavy thing.
There you go. Things you will never hear said at that event. Gotta rush, lads, I'm late for a poetry reading.
That's truck number 3, Bernie Sanders, everybody.
Anyway, the thing is, they worked out they could pull more heavy things if they fiddled with the ECU on the diesel engines because that would generate more power and, as a byproduct, more smoke. That's why it's called coal rolling. And now various kids have started to do it out on the highway. What they do is they go out on the street and then do it when they overtake a Toyota Prius. Look at this, right? Here we go.
Oh, for God's sake. Really?
Come on.
Really?
No, I know I shouldn't say this, but every time I overtake a Prius, I always think I could do this in 4th. but I'm going to use second instead. It's going to annoy him even more.
You do know you're 56 years old.
Yeah, but I've got a mental age of 9.
Oh, yeah.
Should we get on with the show?
I think
Yes,
it's time.
yes, on with the show.
There's no point arguing anyway. He's got the Alfa Romeo thing out of his system, which is good, because it's time now for us to enjoy a gentle stroll along the sunlit sidewalks of Conversation Street.
It is, right now. OK, and we start with this. It's the new Alfa Romeo Stelvio.
For God's sake!
This is important news.
It's not important news, it's niche news for morons.
It's not! It's a superb car because you can have it with the same 500 horsepower engine that you get in the Quadriplegio, and with that, you get four-wheel drive.
Oh, so that one will work in the wet, will it?
Hammond,
Yes?
when somebody has a baby, OK, do you go up to it and they go, look at my new baby that I've created? Ugh, it's really ugly.
Oh, only if it's ugly.
You see, you can't be cruel about Alfa Romeos. They're
Can.
trying so hard. Oh, well, let's just move it on. Forget the Alfa then, forget the Alfa. Now, we should talk about where we are.
Yes.
OK,
Yes.
Tennessee, because this is the best-selling vehicle in the state. OK, and... Yeah, we got a picture of the police car, and an ambulance, and a hearse.
Yeah. I'm detecting a theme here.
Yeah, the pickup truck, I think I'm right in saying, is very popular in this neck of the woods, yes? I'm sure you may be amazed to hear they really haven't caught on at all in the UK. I mean, almost nobody has one.
No, you hardly ever see them, which is a shame because I love a pickup truck.
Yeah, we know.
No, I love a truck. I like a truck.
Yes.
I can say that
hold
here.
on.
I can say that here.
That's fine, you can say that, but they're not actually very sensible, are they?
Mate, that's not everything. Anyway, look, you drive around in your Ferrari, OK, and you happily put up with all the compromises that imposes. So you put up with the cost and the inconvenience, and it's not very comfortable because it's a fast car. Same with the pickup. You put up with the compromises, the weight, the size, the fuel
Yeah,
consumption.
but what's the upside?
It's a pickup truck. You can use it where you can put logs in it and tow trees out of the woods with it. You could put a bear in it.
Hammond, you work in the media. The only thing you have to put in the back of a vehicle are invitations to gala lunches. That's all you ever do.
The problem, actually, in Britain with a pickup truck, I'm sorry to have to admit this, is that if you pulled up at a set of traffic lights and you had your cement mixer and your chainsaw in the back, they would be stolen immediately.
Anything left in the open in Britain, it's like nuts at a party. You just help yourself. So why doesn't that happen here? Who's got a pickup truck here?
Yeah.
Holy cow, that's unbelievable. But when you go shopping and put things in the back, why doesn't someone just help themselves?
Because they shoot them here.
What?
Well, there is that. There is that. Thank you, Donald.
Where's Donald? No, but why? Have you ever had anything stolen when you were at a red light? Never. Has anyone ever had anything? No. I thought this was supposed to be crime-ridden in America.
Maybe people are honest. I don't know. It's possible.
I'm honest, but if I was in Britain and I saw a pickup truck parked with a lawnmower, I'd think, oh, I'll have that. Now, yesterday, we went to... it was like a big classic car museum just out of town here, where you could also buy the exhibits.
It's great fun.
It was a fantastic day out. Really enjoyed ourselves in there. I mean, it was full of, you know, sort of Mustangs and Camaros and stuff. There was stuff like this. We've got a picture of this sort of thing. 60s and 70s stuff. Now, we know that cars like this are horrible to drive.
Terrible.
But they're tremendous to look at. There was so much joy in car design back then. And you just see it in that car there.
It actually made us slightly sad in a way, though, didn't it? Because as we were leaving, we suddenly started wondering, well, what are they going to put in that museum in 40 years' time?
Yeah. A Nissan bloody Duke.
Exactly.
Yeah, who wants to look at that? I don't want to look at that now.
No, exactly. Or the Dodge Dart. What child's going to say, oh, Daddy, let's go and look at the 40-year-old Dart in the museum? Nobody is.
Oh, no, it's true that car design has become so dreary lately, and I think part of it, it's almost as if the people who design cars don't actually like cars.
Yeah, exactly right. But they did then, and you can tell. I mean, there was a Cuda in there next to a Plymouth Fury, and I just stood for about an hour just soaking them in.
I saw a 1966 Cadillac. We've got a picture of it here, look. Now, what I like about this is that the bloke who designed the bonnet, he got to the grille. He thought, I'll finish with the bonnet, I'll do the grille. But he didn't tell the blokes doing the wings, and they kept going. Look, so it sort of goes like another foot.
No, but you end up with a fantastic-looking car. It's like the Buick Riviera. They had one of those in there. I mean, look at
That is
that.
glorious.
They had one of those as a toy when I was little, and if you put your finger over the back window, it flashed its lights. And you just look and you go, how can Buick have gone from doing that in, what, 30, 40 years to doing this, whatever, this brown... Look at... How have they done that? And it's the same as Chevrolet. There was an Impala in there, 1960.
Look at that. That is exciting, not moving. Look at it.
That's a Chevy Impala from the 60s. Let's have a look at one from today.
Oh, for God's sake. How would they even have the nerve to call that an Impala? Because it isn't one.
I was looking at a Corvette, a 70s Corvette. That's the C3 model if you're a Corvette nerd.
This was a car that was driven by all of the astronauts.
Exactly.
And Dirk Diggler.
Yep.
Wow. So it's a car for porn stars and astronauts. What a strapline that
What
is.
car is there today that can be driven by porn stars and astronauts?
There isn't one.
An Alpha? Actually, he's right.
No, astronauts have to get there.
He's right. That's exactly what the quadriplegio is.
No.
It's for porn stars and astronauts, which is what I am.
Now, I would like to have a conversation about the Nürburgring, because this is important. Last year, I was delighted. The people who run the Nürburgring in Germany, they said they were going to ban car manufacturers from setting lap records.
Sorry,
there,
why were you delighted about that?
Because that's an excellent idea. Because if you make a car that is excellent for doing a fast lap of the Nürburgring, it will be useless as a car everywhere else in your life. It's like setting your house up to play Laser Quest. It will be brilliant for playing Laser Quest, but it'll be rubbish for a dinner party because it's full of lasers and darkness and fog and music and people running around thinking that they're in Star Wars. Or you could get a dog. You could train a dog as an attack dog, which is fantastic if you own a scrapyard and you need the dog to guard it. But if you take it home and expect it to be a pet, it will eat your children. It's completely useless. That's what happens when you set a car up for the Nürburgring.
Yeah, this isn't really a conversation, James.
No, I think we've accidentally turned down Rant Lane this week.
Well, there's more.
Oh, he's off
actually.
again.
No, but the thing is, the bad news in all this is that they've decided that they will allow car manufacturers to set lap records again.
Well, that's good.
No, it's bad.
Oh, OK.
Because think of the cars that have come out recently that we've driven that have been developed so that they would go fast around the Nürburgring. BMW M4 GTS, you can't deny it, it's a terrible car.
Yes.
Nissan GTR, the track edition, that is a terrible car. Even Seat, the Seat Leon Cupra 280, that's got a hatchback record for going around the Nürburgring, and it's rubbish. The Nürburgring ruins cars. I'm developing an app for the smartphone called Bomb the Nürburgring, where you guide a Dornier 17 over it and blow it up.
What are you doing on this programme?
Talking sense.
Good question. I don't know.
Because we have this old woman who has a baking show in Britain. She's called Mary Berry. And it would be the same... You probably know. She's probably the same as her saying, I hate cakes.
Yes.
Mary Berry would agree with me, because if she made a cake that had been developed on the Nürburgring, someone would put fried onions on the top and completely ruin it. You'd have a Victoria sponge with onion on the top for no reason.
James, you know you're weird, don't
That's
you?
not weird. That's the most sensible thing that's ever been said on this show.
You are weird.
Not weird.
He is weird. We were coming through the airport here the other day, coming through Chicago, and he went, Jeremy, smell my jacket.
He said what?
Yeah.
He did. He said, smell my jacket. I said, why? He said, because it smells of old record players.
Mate, that is weird.
But it did.
You know record players don't smell of anything.
They do. Old ones do. They smell of old record players. Who knows what an old record player smells of? smells of decaying electrical
I'd like us to move
things
it
and
on because
valves.
it's getting scary now. What are you
That's not a record
Smells
player.
of anything. What do you want about?
Does anybody have an old record player or anything old electrical? They smell, don't they? They
Does
have a
anybody
smell.
ever smelt an old record player, really? You think you have? You've smelt an old... God's truth. Did it have a wax cylinder on it, your old record player? What?
It smelled like old plastic and warm rubber.
Yeah, exactly. See,
No, that's the smelling of his special drawer, is that?
You're actually talking to Thomas Edison there. He invented the record player.
Hello! Hello, thank you, everyone. Welcome to the Grand Tour, which this week comes to you from the shores of Loch Ness in Scotland. Now, exactly. Now, to most people around the world, Scotland is just a bunch of scenery and Mel Gibson with some paint on his face. But actually, it's a bit more than that. What we have here is a list of all the important things that were invented in America, OK? This is what the Germans came up with. Then we've got the English contribution. And then, obviously, let's have a look at what France did. That's it. I'm not making that up.
Actually, and the pencil sharp.
Oh, and the pencil sharp.
Yeah,
Oh, I got that. Now let's have a look at the list of things that were invented by Scottish people.
It's just...
Unbelievable. It's everything. Cordite, cloning, colour photography, percussion pack, golf, lime cordial. I mean, the list goes on and on. Buick.
Hang on a minute. Why is the US Navy on there?
I'm not joking. That was actually invented by a Scottish person. So was the BBC, so was the SAS. All special forces, in fact. And I think I know why. If you are from Mexico or France or Italy, you wake up in the morning, open the curtains, it's a lovely day, think I'll go to the beach. In Scotland, you open the curtains, it's damp and cold, I'll go to the shed and I'll invent something. That's what's going on there.
I'm surprised, actually, the English don't just say that those are British inventions.
Ah, yes, the Andy Murray syndrome. Let's be honest, this does happen a lot. OK, Alexander Graham Bell, when he was working away with his Bakelite and his wires in his shed, he was a Scottish crackpot. When he invented the telephone, he was a British genius. Exactly the same sort of thing happens with sport, motor racing. Jackie Stewart, 3 times Formula 1 world champion. OK, he's British. Jim Clark, 2 times Formula 1 world champion. British. David Coulthard, Scottish. That's how it works. That's how it works. Maybe we should explain to people in America what's going on here.
Yeah, exactly. Let me just clear this up for you. This is how it works on this side of the pond, OK? This is Britain. Now, this bit is England, where we're from.
Yeah.
This bit's Scotland, where we are now. This bit's Wales, which is next to where I live.
Yes,
That's how it
exactly.
works.
Now, the rules are very simple. If you're English and you become brilliant or do something brilliant, you remain English. If you're Scottish or Welsh and you do something brilliant, the English decide that you are, in fact, British.
Yeah, the English really are appalling, aren't they? Let's just get on the same page.
I tell you what, I love being in Scotland because everyone here speaks their mind. There's no ambiguity. There's the town of Larkhall in Scotland, their welcome sign. Here we go. Yeah. This is Scotland. It's not just words either, it's actions. You remember that terrorist attack at Glasgow Airport a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
OK, so somebody tried to explode, bomb didn't go off, he ran off and he didn't get very far because this happened. That is the Scottish way. And, interestingly, there have been no terrorist attacks in Scotland since.
Just thinking about that for a second, when he kicked him, he must have broken his foot on the other guy's pelvis.
Yeah.
Which means the guy's plums were in the middle of the impact.
When that terrorist woke up that morning, he must have thought, right, the worst thing that's going to happen to me today is I'm going to blow up.
It wasn't, though, was
No,
it?
it wasn't.
No, because the only thing to explode that day was his knackers.
Oh, God. Can we get on with this show, please?
Yes, good idea.
Time now for us to take a gentle cruise down the velvety smoothness of Conversation Street.
That really hurt.
It did.
Just to be absolutely clear with you, that really, really hurt.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a pretend bottle.
Anyway, let's move it on.
Yes, I would like to converse about something very important. Why is it that we have leather seats in cars? Because in reality, it's a terrible material. I mean, it's too shiny and slippery, and it's too hot or it's too cold. It's rubbish.
No, I know. I think it's because we got hung up on the idea, didn't we, that leather is somehow posh on a car seat. But it didn't used to be like that. In the old days, the posh people sat in the back of the car on cloth seats, and it was the chauffeur, the driver, sitting at the front that gave him leather because it's hard wearing. I've got a picture here of an old car. Look, they didn't even extend the roof to cover it. Just another 3 feet would have done it. And I think that's deliberate. I think that's to remind him that he's scum.
Yeah. What would you two like to have instead of leather?
Well, there's all sorts of things you could use. You could have cable knit, wool. Well, which is But it's nice, it's cosy. I'm just
Lovely.
desperately looking around. I mean, his jumper would make quite a good car seat.
Yeah, be
It's
cosy.
nylon. It is, or pleblon, one of the two.
It's a good idea.
It isn't
These
a
are
good idea.
It's right.
It isn't. Or, how's this for an idea? Let me just throw it out there. Why not take a cow, turn the middle of it into burgers and steaks, and then instead of throwing the skin away, use it to cover the seats of your car?
Because it's a terrible material and it doesn't work.
That's only because you two have decided to be vegetarians.
Well, no, hang on.
No, they have.
Well,
they
a bit.
actually have. They woke
That-
up together one morning and went, let's not eat meat anymore.
OK, we didn't wake up together one morning.
Absolutely clear on
Just a
that.
fine
They
definition.
mysteriously arrived at the same conclusion at pretty much the same day.
Anyway, we still eat chicken.
Yep, and chicken is a vegetable.
Well, it is.
No, it is. Scientifically, chicken is a vegetable. If you cut a chicken's head off, it still runs around.
There you go.
Thereby proving it's not a sentient being, it's a higher order vegetable.
It's a vegetable.
Scientifically. It is.
OK, then, well, we'll make the seats in your cars out of chicken skins. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Wouldn't a chicken skin seat just look like a giant scrotum?
Yes, and that's your fault for not eating meat. So now let's move on, shall we? I've got something. Back in the 1920s, OK, a Scottish company made a car which they said was for women. Got a picture of it here. It's called the Galloway.
Yeah, but what about that car makes it for women? It's just
Well,
a
they
car.
said that it had a smaller than usual steering wheel and a more reliable engine.
Oh, yeah, of course, because men don't want a reliable engine, do they? It's only women.
I hate reliable engine. Also, you could drive it standing up, which is what women did in the 1940s. This sort of thing is still going on today, actually, because I've got news of one here. A car that's been launched called the Seat Mii Cosmopolitan. We have a picture of it. There you go.
Sorry, how do you spell me?
M-I-I.
It is me.
It is a me. It's
It's
been done
these
in...
days. I've got a me.
Well, it's been done in collaboration with Cosmopolitan magazine. It's aimed at Cosmo Girl, it says. And, are you ready? The headlights have an eyeliner shape.
No, they don't.
It's easy to park.
Oh, yeah, because I much prefer a car that's hard to park because I'm a man.
Can we just can we get something clear here, OK? This gender splitting of cars is ridiculous. It's like saying, oh, well, a woman's airline seat or a woman's matches or a woman's anything.
Hello, can I buy a box of women's pencils, please?
Exactly.
Say.
Exactly. The only things I can think of that can be split by gender are bicycles, because of the crossbar.
Oh, yeah.
And underwear.
Sometimes, yeah.
Overshare?
No, I said that. I left in a hurry.
It is that, honestly, I just can't understand why people think there's such a thing as a woman's car and a man's car.
No, it's ridiculous. It's not as if you drive cars with your old chap or your magic triangle. It's ridiculous. But then there's there's listen.
It's a little graphic.
But a few years ago, Volvo did a concept car and they boasted very loudly that the whole thing had been designed entirely by women. OK, and I've got a picture of it. It's a coupe with gull-wing doors and a massive engine.
So everyone would do.
I would definitely have done that.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Men and women are exactly the same when it comes to cars.
Yes.
The end.
Exactly.
Right, now, you know Tesla? Tesla believes it's pioneering the electric car, but that ain't so. There was a Scottish company back in the 60s, made an electric car. Got a picture of it here.
Oh, God.
It's called the Scamp, OK? It had a top speed of 35 miles an hour, a range of 20 miles, and I want to make it absolutely plain, that's Scottish, not British.
It is, yeah. Very definitely. Yeah, that is Scottish.
I think we can end conversation straight there. Right, now, all over the world, people, by and large, buy very boring cars. I met a man yesterday who just spent £8,000 on a 5-year-old Ford Focus. And I thought, why did you do that? If you've got £8,000 to spend, why didn't you buy a used Maserati?
And I think it's because people believe if you buy a used exotic Italian car for £8,000, it's going to break down all the time.
Yes, but will it? To find out, we actually put our own money on the line and we each went out and bought a second-hand Maserati.
Yes, and then we decided that cars this glamorous and this exciting couldn't possibly be tested in Britain.
So we decided to meet up in continental Europe. This is the racetrack we selected. It's just 60 miles from Calais and I arrived bright and early.
This is a Maserati Biturbo. First car in the world to be fitted with 2 turbochargers. And this particular example is the sought-after S model, and it's only done 24,000 miles. And yet, despite that, all I paid for it was £7,950. So you get all this glamour, all this power, all that badge, for less than you pay in the UK for a 6-year-old Toyota Pius. Oh. Why has Richard Hammond arrived in a Ford Cortina? Oh, no, wait, it isn't a Ford Cortina. It's another Biturbo.
No, this is the 430.
It isn't.
It is.
Biturbo.
This isn't a Biturbo.
It is.
That's a Biturbo.
Hammond, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but the Ghibli, the Racing, the Carif, the Shamal, the 222 and the 430, they were all the same car. They haven't got any money. They just changed the name badge on the back. These are the same car. Yours is very ugly, but it's the same car.
I dispute that. This is not ugly. This is elegant. This is Italian style.
It isn't.
That is a
Mine
fabulous
is
looking thing. Let's
stylish.
have a look at this. What have you got? It's a bit gaudy, mate.
You want to hear this baby fire up?
Get out! Save yourself!
Yes! Feel the power of that!
Have you seen all this? There's no other word for it. Oil.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah.
Happily, before any more could flood out, James arrived.
Have you ever seen a more ungainly looking machine? What's the matter? Is your door broken?
No, I'm broken. Can you hold the door for me? Thank you. Behold, the Maserati Zagato Spider.
No, Biturbo, mate.
No, it's a Zagato
It is
Spider.
all Biturbos. See, I think this was designed when it was owned by Citroën, which was bankrupt at the time. Then there was some guy in America who had a bit of Maserati. And then I think the Italian government or Fiat, they all sort of had bits of it.
Right.
And they just ran around going, we made a new car, look. And it was exactly the same as the last car, it just had a new name. Excuse me, James. So, I just want to see just... Oh, you've got like 2-tone leather. But why have you got an automatic?
I've bust my arm. That's why it took a long time to get out.
You really broken your arm?
Which arm have you broken?
It has made me murderously bad-tempered and intolerant of your fatuousness.
Have you
both of
seriously
you.
broken your arm?
Well, it's fractured quite badly. Don't touch it.
How did you break
I
it?
fell over.
Anyway, that's why you got an automatic?
Yes.
Is that roof electric?
No.
Hang on, no, there's a little button on the front.
Oh, right, brilliant. So it is manual?
Yes.
Anyway, we must get off. Come on, let's drive on.
Can you put the roof back up for me?
No, I'm not doing that.
We decided, first of all, to have a drag race.
It's OK, though. I've got a backup plan. You know, voice activation systems in cars, they don't really work. Particularly, they don't work in Scotland. As we shall now demonstrate with a short clip of a man trying to pair his telephone with his Vauxhall.
Pair.
You can say pair, select device, voice feedback, help, or cancel.
Pair.
You can say pair, select
I just
device,
f***ing said pair.
or cancel.
Pair.
You can say pair, select device, voice feedback, help, or cancel.
Pair.
Pardon?
What I really love about this guy is how long he perseveres for. What's this?
Pair.
Do you want to add or delete a device?
Yes. Add a device.
Pardon?
Add a device.
Using the pair function in the external device.
Yeah.
It's been just a tremendous journey. We've had 3 Maseratis out here for 3 days. We've only had one minor fire.
Can I just say, and I'm being absolutely honest here, I love my Maserati. I've totally fallen for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like mine. No car makes a better noise. No 2-litre car makes a better noise than that.
I love it more now than when I started.
I definitely want to keep mine. I want to know what it's like to drive with two arms. Because it might be...
Because we all loved our cars so much, I decided we should end our road trip with a spicy climax.
Why don't we race back to England, OK? First thing in the morning. Last one back there has to sell their car.
Ooh, that's cruel.
That's harsh. It's not entirely fair on me, is it?
Well, hello, why not?
You chose to come equipped with one arm. It's your issue, not ours. So we set off from here all at the same time.
Any route you like. Last one back on English soil has to sell their car.
I'm up for it. I'll risk it because I think that'll make the trip home exciting. I'll do it. Last one home.
He lived, annoyingly.
Hang on, hold on, Hammond.
What?
I need to ask you about this. Why did you stick déshabillé on my car?
Because you were disabled.
Déshabillé means undressed, you moron. Yeah.
Look, let's not get bogged down with who can't speak French. Let's get to the point, which is, James May, you lost and you broke the company yacht.
You did. Well, no, hang on a minute. My car got closer to England than yours did.
Yes, but the other thing it got closest to was the bottom of the sea.
Yes, look, anyway, all of that is irrelevant because my car was the best because it didn't go wrong at all.
No, mine was perfectly reliable, Hammond.
Mine was as reliable as James's arms. And the extraordinary thing is, no one can work out what was wrong with it.
Well, it fell off the back of a lorry.
No one can work out what fault it had that caused it to be on the lorry in the first place. And even now, what are we, 9 months down the line? 2 trained Maserati mechanics are totally stumped. It is an unfathomable fault.
Yeah. So, what we can conclude from our exhaustive testing in the north of France is that if you buy a used Maserati, you have a 66% chance of it working.
They're not bad odds.
Well, you wouldn't say that if you were having an eye operation, would you?
Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Grand Tour, which once again comes to you from the shores of Loch Ness in Scotland. Now, the reason why we're still here is, after last week's show, these two got talking to a man in the local town who has convinced them that in that lake there is a monster.
Well, there is a monster.
Have you seen it?
No, but the man was very convincing.
Did he sell you a tea towel with a drawing of a monster on it?
He did, and now we know what the monster looks like.
Exactly. We've also got photographs of the monster. Look, we've got this one.
That's a log.
And we've got this one. Look at that. Monster.
Another log. Can I just draw your attention to a picture I've got, OK? Here it is.
Well, that's not a monster, is it?
No, that is an elephant shrew. Well spotted. Now, this is the Nissan GTR among animals. Have you ever seen it on the move? It's phenomenal. It leaves a rooster tail and it corners like it's got downforce. But my point is, this is a very rare animal, and yet the photograph of it is in sharp focus and colour. Now, all the pictures of your monster are in black and white.
Oh, maybe it is black and white.
And blurry.
Maybe it's blurry.
This has been driving me mad all week, so I decided to go for a drive on some of Scotland's, let's be honest, brilliant driving roads. They are fantastic. And actually, speaking of which, something called the North Highland Initiative, set up by Prince Charles. A few years ago, it came up with the North Coast 500. Now, this was going to be Scotland's answer to Route 66 in America. Miles of amazing scenery, incredible roads. Got a picture of a bit of it here. Look at that. Huge success. Loads of big spenders came with their Lamborghinis and their Ferraris and their Porsches. Hotels were full, restaurants were packed, local economy booming. So how long do you think it was before the local newspaper carried a headline containing the following words: police and crackdown?
10 days.
2 days.
2 days.
2 days. Oh, we can't have people driving along there.
What else are you going
Might run
to do
into
with
a
it?
pedestrian.
It's a road.
I know it is. And then you've got the A9. 99 miles of continuous average speed camera.
99?
99 miles. And I'm sorry, you lot, I presume you're all petrol heads, yes? So let me ask you a question. Dying in your beds, many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back and say to the Scottish Safety Camera Partnership, you can take our licences, but you can't take our freedom?
Now what you've done.
I know.
That's dangerous.
I know.
Let's just get on with the show.
Yes, Dean. And now we must move on because it is time to set the sat-nav for Destination Chat as we head down Conversation Street.
Well, it didn't hurt as much as the wine bottle last week. Now, Mercedes, they've come up with this plan, or this idea, where you can rent your car out when you're not using it.
Was that a bit like Airbnb? Is it?
Exactly like Airbnb. The thing Mercedes haven't realised is that we, and I'm sure you all agree with me on this, we form an emotional bond with our car.
Yeah, we're attached to them.
Exactly. So you're renting it to someone else. It'd be like renting out your pet.
Yeah, or your penis.
Yes.
I'm attached to it.
Yes,
I mean,
you
that's
wouldn't
what I
want
mean.
to see somebody...
One would hope so. Yeah.
You wouldn't want to see somebody else having fun with it.
No, it's mine.
Exactly. And that's what I'm on about. Mercedes has obviously got it into its head, and this really worries me because it's a large car company, that cars are just tools like microwave ovens or fridge freezers that we'll just sort of glad, oh, yeah, you can borrow it, I don't really care.
No, you're absolutely right, actually. They are very emotional because, you know, if you have a car, eventually you sell it, but then you see somebody else driving around in it.
Yeah,
that
it's
always feels bad. It's a bit like watching your ex-girlfriend do sex with someone else. It is.
No, and after a terrible evening in a wardrobe, I know. Strangely undermining.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you can see those circles in the lake just
Monster!
there.
Monster! It's a monster!
I just saw... Did anyone else see that?
Monster! Monster! It's real.
Well, hang on. Why don't we
told
just...
you.
Since we can't agree on this, is there a monster in the lock? Yeah! Right, there you go. They live here. They would know.
And if there were no monster, what would you do for a tourist industry up here?
Sell tea towels without monsters on them.
No, I'm not having that, because what you're saying is that, you know, come to beautiful Scotland, as you've said, lovely roads, lovely scenery,
Yep.
there's a hotel, a beautiful lake. Why would they say, yeah, but there's a monster? That would be like saying, come to Yorkshire, it's beautiful, we've got the plague, you know? And they wouldn't do that.
We've got distracted a little bit.
We have got a bit off topic.
What were we talking about?
No, we were talking about him hiding in a wardrobe, watching an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, that was an overshare.
It was a bit of an overshare.
Yeah.
It was
But
either that
actually-
or he'd rented his penis out. I can't remember.
Something along those lines. But actually, there's a point I just want to make on this, about this emotional connection we have with our cars. Because you know when you scrap a car, I don't know if anyone's done that, it really is very tragic when you watch a car that you've got all those shared memories going into the crusher.
It's the end of the road.
It is
Yeah.
the end of the road. Well, there's this a new organisation, it's called Charity Car, where you can give your car to them, they deal with all the paperwork and what have you, take your car away, yeah? And then they give the money that they raise to a charity of your choice.
Well, that's quite a nice idea.
It is a
I
nice
like that.
idea, so that, you know, it's sad your old car's gone, but now, you know, a donkey can be rescued. And your car lives on in the smile of an abandoned donkey.
That's a beautiful thing. That's what we're about.
That's what this show is, it's all heart.
Yeah. That's what we are.
Heart and road safety, those are the two pillars of that underpin everything, really, on this show.
I've got some conversation for you, yes, which is that there's a website that tells you how many of any given type of car are still left on the roads of Britain today, yes? And I'm afraid we have some sad news.
Yeah, we do. This is a big worry. You remember the Citroen Saxo VTS? Yeah? There it is.
The car of the agri.
It is. The ideal car to nip out and steal a chainsaw in. Fabulous, proper, fizzy little hatchback. Loved it. Well, in 2008, there were 5,000 of them on the road. This year, 491 left on the road. And in fact, I know this is a worry. We've done it. Look, we've got a little chart. We've drawn this up. At that rate, by 2019, they'll all have gone.
There's also the Vauxhall Calibra 16 valve. There's a picture of it. We used to love that. Do you know there are only 323 of those left, and they could be extinct within a year.
And do you know what's interesting is there are people all over the world working hard to save the tiger from extinction. But nobody is doing anything to save the Vauxhall Calibra 16 valve.
We've identified something here.
No, there isn't. However, there is some good news in all of this. The Morris Ital. 175,000 of these turds were squeezed out by the Austin. And in 2015, there were only 35 left.
Yes! Now you can cheer. That is good news.
It's good news. Only 35 on the road.
Wait. You're absolutely right. But before you celebrate, yes, 35 left on the road in 2015. In 2016, there were 47.
Oh, so they're going up?
Are they mating?
No. No, I think people are restoring them.
What people?
Mad people.
Anyway, look. No, you're possibly right, but I've done a calculation. And at that rate, that's a 34% increase in just 1 year. And at that rate, by the year 2044, all 175,000 Morris Itals will be back on the road.
Oh, my God.
This is a disaster.
It is. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Brexit. That's what they want, backwards with Britain.
It is time now, since we've reached the end of Conversation Street, to select reverse and have a look at this. This is the Bentley Bentayga, a massive, luxurious four-wheel drive SUV shooting brake. Question is it any good, or is it a load of... what's the word? Well, to find out, James brought it here, to the German Alps. The problem is that a bare-bones Bentley costs £160,000. And for £12,000 less than that, you can have this. An all-singing, all-dancing, everything fitted as standard 5-litre supercharged Range Rover.
Or, for £120,000 less than that, you can have this, the new Jaguar F-Pace. And it's not like this thing is a garden shed. It's got loads of clever stuff on it. So if you're coming back from the shops with your arms full of heavy bags, you can open the boot with your foot.
Yeah, but I can do that with a Range Rover.
Yes, but it's £120,000 more. And you don't get one of these. Look.
What is it?
It's a waterproof, go-anywhere bracelet that you use to lock and unlock it and start the engine, so you don't need to carry keys in your pocket.
That's actually quite a good idea, isn't it?
I know, it's
How do you
brilliant.
charge it up?
I don't know. Maybe it's like one of those watches.
Oh, hello.
Oh?
Puff Daddy is arriving.
I think he's wearing a chain. You know, that thing costs 4 times more than the Jag, and it's not like the badges are that different, is it?
That Jag is a car. This is more of a statement. This is a new way of understanding the condition of being human. It is the last word in luxury.
It's a very expensive statement, though, isn't it? I mean, if you've got the money to buy that, you could buy the Jag and still have £130,000 to spend on a PR agent to put you on breakfast TV talking about how great you are.
It cost £130,000 more for a reason. Jags are for deluded middle-aged men who entertain tragic fantasies about being Lotharios. I know, I've had 4 of them.
About brands with delusion, hello, Bentley, that's what it is.
Guys,
what?
We are not going to sort this out in a car park. We need to go for a drive, and I have worked out a route on this map here, OK? We are in the village of Vank, and we'll go from Vank to Kissing, then on to Petting, then this place, and then Wedding.
So Vank, Kissing, Petting, wedding.
Yes. It'll be a journey through life without leaving Central Europe.
Yeah, it will. Let's do it.
Guys, we've had a text from Mr. Willman.
Oh, God. What does it say?
It said that to sort out the performance differences, we should go to a nearby airstrip where he'd laid on some competition. So we did.
Chaps, this is what we're up against. BMW X5 M. 4.4 litre twin turbocharged, 567 horsepower. That is fairly serious competition.
Wow, if you think about it, it's going to be Britain versus Germany.
Well, not really. Your two cars are Indian and mine's German as well.
All right, it's going to be India versus Germany, and I shall be victorious in my mighty, lighty Jaguar.
Right.
Well, you see, you won't be. Not in a million years. Sorry about wasting your time with this race. You could launch a car that does 1,000,000 miles an hour and costs 8 pence and runs on water, and people would still buy Range Rovers. Because why would you not?
Okay, air conditioning is off. It's in dynamic mode. Gearbox is in sport. Come on, little Jag.
So I'm not really worried about Pinky and Perky's challenge, but the BMW does worry me. Almost as much power, very obviously lighter.
A lot of well-to-do people in Britain will want to know the result of this race before they choose what colour Range Rover they'd like for next year's shooting season.
Yes, yes. Well done, James. Oh, who knew if you spend 4 times as much on a car, you get one that's a tiny bit faster than another?
You two just haven't got the message, have you?
What, that you lost?
Yeah.
Well, no, the message is very clear. Underpants, OK? You can buy a cheap pair from a market stall, or you can buy an expensive pair with gold thread in them, or you can do what everyone does, you go to Marks and Spencer's. Marks and Spencer's, if you're watching this not in the UK, is where we all buy our pants from.
Well, I don't.
We decided to set our sat-navs.
Please name the country.
Austria.
Please name the city.
Fu King.
Excuse me.
OK.
Sorry.
OK. OK.
Sorry. Is your destination Selking?
No. Fu King.
Cracking has been accepted. Which street should I select?
OK.
Sorry.
I can't say it. People are listening. OK.
Sorry.
Thankfully, Hammond had decided to program his bargain basement system manually.
F. It's gone in!
And soon, we cross the border into Austria.
It's very, very pretty, Austria. No idea why Hitler was in such a bad mood.
Eventually, we arrived, here.
So is this the climax of this stage of our journey?
Is it all it's cracked up to be? That's what I want to know. Because often it can be a disappointment the first time you go there.
First time I came here, I couldn't find the way in.
Once we'd arrived in... James was very keen we should get in the back of his Bentley.
What's really incongruous about this, I think, is that you're very obviously in a Bentley. All this looks very Bentley. Until you look down here and you see these symbols on this control knob, and it's very obviously a serious off-roader.
Oh, what? Those symbols. So you can
Yeah.
set it for swamp, minefield, Christmas, or Mexico. Nice.
Yes,
So
Hammond. Shall I tell you something interesting about the wood, or one of the woods you can have in this? It only grows on a cliff face in Asia, and the way they get it is they have to abseil down it with their woodworking tools.
Why don't they just use wood from a tree that grows in a field? Is everything standard in here?
No.
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 So how much is this car?
This particular one?
Yes.
Is 212,000.
What?
And something.
So that means the extras in this car cost more than Hammond's entire Jaguar. How much is your Jag?
It's about the same.
Well, that Jag with all the extras.
That is £51,450.
And this has got 140, £52,000 worth of extras in it.
It's just a little bit more on extras than the entire Jag.
It's great value.
Can I just say, James?
Yes, do.
I do quite like the interior of this car. No, I do. I'll be honest with you. I like the quilted leather. I like the wood that comes from a cliff and all of that. But the exterior, I'm sorry, it's hideous.
Ugly. Big ugly.
Yeah, well, hang on a minute. Because, do you remember, and it is a long time ago, when the Continental GT first came out, we all thought that was hideous, and now we all love it. It's one of the few things we agree on.
Yes, that's true, but I think this is more like you. When I first met you, I thought you were ugly. And now, I still think you're ugly.
A crushing criticism from one so handsome.
James.
What?
Unlock the doors. James, please unlock the doors. We're in this place.
In the back of a car. Together.
I don't mean to be hurtful or disrespectful, but,
Well, go on, spit it out.
Well, it's just because we've been here doesn't mean we necessarily have to go on to wedding.
No.
It's me, it's not you.
No, he's right. It's been going so well, and if we go on to wedding, we'll have to carry on and on and on through routine, boredom, resentment, spare bedroom, temptation, affair, discovery, remorse, revenge, divorce, and then it's death, or you could turn off through online dating, meaningless sex, bottomless regret, financial ruination, and then heart attack, and then you end up at death anyway.
Exactly, Hammond. And that's why I'm suggesting that instead of going to wedding, we go to the Nürburgring.
Oh.
Because James's car was the only one that spoke German, he set the sat-nav.
Ziel eingeben. Nürburgring.
And then we set off.
Why have you got a dog?
I shall show you. Follow me. If you want a pet, you can have something expensive, like an iguana with a silver necklace. Or you can have something cheap, like an ant.
What ant?
That ant. Or you can use your common sense and have a Labrador. Gentlemen, observe. You can buy very expensive sunglasses. These ones are made from real gold. Or you can buy very cheap sunglasses. But what do we all do? We all have Ray-Bans.
You do know you're just being irritating, don't you?
All you've actually told us about your car is something to do with underpants, iguanas and sunglasses.
I'm just saying.
Well, don't.
A total waste of time, that whole film. Total waste of time. Range Rover, 2 minutes faster.
You cheated. Simple as that. Anyway, look, if we can just put the bickering aside for one moment, I have to say that little Jag was, and it really was, brilliant, and it was designed by a local boy, Ian Callum, born in Dumfries.
He didn't just do that. He also styled the Aston Martin DB7, the DB9, the Vanquish, the Ford Puma, the Escort Cosworth.
Yeah, he's British.
Basically. Well, pretty much.
He is. He is. Anyway, sadly, his new car isn't as good as a Range Rover. Don't argue, it isn't. Thank you so much and welcome to the Grand Tour, which this week comes to you from the United Arab Emirates. Specifically, we are in Dubai, which means for the first time ever, we are the 3 poorest people in the tent.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. You think, how do they do that with all those fountains? Well, I'll let you into a little secret. It's Perrier water. Flinging it up into the air. I heard another one the other day. OK, a taxi driver clearing out his cab after a hard day at work, umbrella, mobile phone, usual stuff, £800,000 gold bar. Someone had left it in there and not even noticed.
You would?
Mind you, that said, here, you can just go to an ATM and get gold out. Look at this. That's an actual ATM. Because you know when it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, oh no, I haven't got an ingot with me. But here, you're fine. You can even buy tyres here, OK, which are studded with gold and diamonds. Look at this. £600,000 a set.
Even the authorities are loaded. We have here a selection of pictures of local police cars. They have an Aventador. They also have an SLS. Yeah, wait for it. They even have a Veyron police car.
Oh, yeah, obviously, because you need that. You need that. It's important.
I've even got a photograph of a local ambulance. Look, here it is. It's a not quite sure how that works. Presumably, you have to break the patient's other leg to actually get him in there.
Yeah.
Then there's public transport. Now, OK, in the UK, this is a bus, yes?
Yeah.
Let me show you a photograph of a local bus here. There you go. Top speed, 155 miles an hour. Costs £7 million. Seats 23 people. You telephone the owner and then he comes and picks you up and takes you to where you want to go.
Well, that's a taxi.
No, James. No. A taxi in Dubai looks like this.
All right, yeah, of course.
You think I'm joking? Look, Uber. Seriously, you call Uber up here and you give them a choice, Prius or helicopter.
Wow. Do you get to rate the driver?
Do you think he sticks his telephone on the screen like they do in Britain in the Prius?
I'm not really a pilot. I'm just doing this while I'm training to be a plumber. Oh, no, get out. Just get out.
Should we get on with the show?
Yes, good idea. But first, there's been a bit of an argument. You see, James and I both recently bought 5-door German hatchbacks. His is a BMW i3, which is powered by electricity, and mine is a conventional Volkswagen Golf GTI.
Yes, meaning my car is from the future and his is from the past, making me enlightened and him a dinosaur.
They have been arguing like this for a while now.
But the thing is, I don't doubt that in the future electric cars will work, but they don't work now.
Well, they do.
They don't, James. Well, why did you fit yours with a petrol-powered range extender?
Well, that's just a little generator that keeps the battery topped up if I need it.
What you're saying is you can't rely on new technology, and your seats, they're made from the contents of a Hoover bag.
Oh, says the man... says the man whose seats are made from Jackie Stewart's old trousers. Because they are.
It's true. Whatever! The fact is, in the office, we decided we'd had enough of them bickering and told them to go out and do a proper road test.
So we did.
We began in London with a real-world test that Clarkson had thought of.
Right, James, we must now see who can open their back door in the shortest time.
Why?
Well, it could be an emergency. People will want to know. Ready, steady, go! Oh, mine's open. Oh, dear, have you got to open your front door before you open...
Yes.
That, let's be honest, a flap.
It's not a flap.
It is a flap. A BMW is saying that in the future, children will only be 3 inches wide.
What are you talking about? Well, for a start, it's hardly a hardship, and that's an enormous space. You only wanted to do that test because you made a mistake. He made a mistake.
I didn't. What mistake?
You did. You wanted a 3-door Golf, and you didn't fill the form in properly. I know that.
Yeah, but...
You can't tick boxes.
5 doors are better looking.
No, they're not. Nobody ever wanted a 5-door Golf GTI.
We've got to get on now.
We've
We've got to talk about money.
He also wanted a red one. He didn't fill that bit in properly either.
This car, with many, many optional extras, was £36,000, whereas James May's BMW i3 was, well, let's find out, shall we? How much was your i3?
Well, it was £40,000, but I got £5,000 back from the government. So actually, it's £35,000, which is less than yours, I think.
You were given, by the government, £5,000 of taxpayers' money so you could buy that car.
I didn't make the rules. You can't turn it down. It's not like the Beatles' OBE.
That is obscene. I mean, James May is a wealthy man, but that bus driver has bought his car for him. Where's the justice in that?
Jeremy will have an opinion on this, despite having bought a farm on which, for many years, he was paid to not grow anything.
Congestion charge here, it's £11.50 to drive into the centre.
Not for me, it isn't.
Of course it isn't. taxi driver here. Is he paying for your congestion charge?
I suppose everybody must pay a little bit.
James May, stealing from the rich. James May, stealing from the poor. He steals from the rich, he steals from the poor, and once more wants it all. That's appalling. It nearly works. It's the future. Oh, that's such a shame.
Oh, shut up. Because I didn't have enough juice in the batteries to make the next charge point, I had to turn on my petrol generator, which stopped them going even flatter, and engage Eco Pro Plus driving mode. It does mean I have to do 56 miles an hour. That's where Eco Pro Plus sets the maximum speed, because that way you get the maximum range. But it means I'm effectively a lorry driver. And because I'm in Eco Pro, I don't get any air conditioning or climate control at all, because that wastes electricity. So the car is slowly steaming up. It's now warning me. It says, find a charge station, you idiot.
How many screws do you have to have loose before you say, yes, I'm going to buy a car which, when it's running low on power, has to be driven at 8 miles an hour, with the air conditioning off and the lights off and the heater off and the radio off? Why would you do that?
After several lifetimes of driving in convoy with James, we finally found a charge point that worked.
That's it.
It's done?
Yes, you don't have to stand and watch it. It's not like petrol. We can go off and have a cup of coffee, a sticky bun.
Well, how long is it going to take?
An hour or so.
An hour?
Yeah.
How much does it cost to fill it up?
Nothing.
What?
Well, so it's free.
How could it be free?
Well, it's free. You have to get the card, but it doesn't cost
How much
anything.
does the card cost?
Nothing. You just have to fill a form in on the internet, and it comes in the
So
post.
I'm paying for your fuel, well, your electricity as well?
Probably.
I'm just staggered by this. It's iniquitous.
After killing time for a few minutes,
Going to try and win some money to pay for James May's heating bill this year, which will undoubtedly be down to me.
I decided I couldn't be bothered to wait anymore, so I recharged the old-fashioned way, and in moments was back on the road.
Britain only produces 5% more power than it actually consumes. That's now. So if everybody starts buying electric cars, the power stations won't be able to cope. There'll be power cuts, and then there will be looting and anarchy. That's what James is doing. He is bringing Britain to its knees.
Finally, after much range anxiety, Roger Daltrey, here I come. I made it.
Thanks for coming and good night.
Oh, cock.
So, hang on. Your car of the future. Yes. 2 of the charging points you went to on that simple journey, 2 were broken.
Yes, that is very unusual. But the point is, if I'd been allowed to set off with a full electric charge and a full little fuel tank, I could have got there, admittedly a lot of 56 miles an hour, but I would have done it with one stop.
56 miles an hour. The
Yes.
future does sound boring, James.
And you still would have missed the gig.
That film is out of date. You don't get £5,000 from the government anymore. You only get £4,500.
How will people cope?
I think what we've done there is prove his car is not really worth buying just yet. Don't argue it isn't. It's not quite
It is.
finished.
Don't start again.
And before we move on, actually, I just want to tell you a little bit more about that Volkswagen system of texting. Because I was using that to send a text from my car the other day to my youngest daughter. And I put 4 kisses at the end, which is normal. And I said XXXX, OK? This is what she got.
Oh, no! No! Oh, that is awkward! Oh! What did she say? Oh, that is awkward.
When she say it, XXXX, that's what comes out.
What sort of face did she pull when she got that from her dad?
Vomiters. Vomiters. We haven't spoken since. Katya, I'm sorry, it was the car.
Move on,
Yes,
because
let's move on.
it is now time for us to visit the headquarters of Chat & Company, who are, of course, based on Conversation Street.
Best one yet. Anyway, we begin with Dubai, in fact, because the first time I came here, which was only 20 years ago, it was like a small village. I was the tallest thing in it. Now look at it. It's unbelievable.
It's not that now, is it?
It is.
Staggering.
It is unbelievable, that. Do you know, this shirt is older than everything you can see out of that window.
James, that shirt is older than Carthage, mate. Look at it.
It is getting on a bit. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, a few years ago, when I first came here, there were virtually no motoring laws at all. I woke up one morning in my hotel, the hotel, there was only one, in the hotel thinking, how did I get back here last night? Looked out of the window, 2 wheel marks right over the ornamental roundabout. And in the flower bed, my Range Rover.
Jeremy, were you very tired when you parked it?
I was off my face with
Oh, okay.
tiredness.
Okay.
Barely able to concentrate. But it was an extraordinary free-for-all, which I bet it isn't now.
No, it really isn't now. There are now very many rules and many stiff punishments. I've got some of them here. Getting behind on the repayments on your car loan, you go to prison. Making rude gestures at other motorists, you go to prison.
Well, they're all just the things I did when I was 17, all of them every day.
I quite approve of that. I'm just thinking of all the things that you could be sent to prison for in Britain.
Oh,
if we run it properly. Very good conversation, isn't it? Here's one. Anyone who takes more than 5 seconds between getting in their car after filling it with petrol and driving off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by-
Definitely.
What do they do?
I know.
What?
Restaurant owners who serve food on a piece of wood.
It's not very car-related, is it, really?
No, it's not. But
Heston Blumenthal does that.
Yes, he does. Exactly, Heston, if you're watching. Prison. Prison. I hate that, food on a piece
I
of
tell
wood.
you what I hate. I may have mentioned this a couple of times before, and I think it should be imprisonable. Any pilot who allows the cabin of the plane to be more than 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, I'm with you on that one.
All planes are too hot these days.
Well,
It's just a standard moan of yours.
I know.
It is. Oh, God. We do have to fly together, but obviously I make every effort not to sit near Jeremy Clarkson for a long flight. But eventually, you know, they turn the lights off and it goes all dark, and after 10 minutes, this voiceover in the blackness goes, "It's literally the hottest place in the world."
Are we flying into the sun? If it gets any hotter, I shall open a window.
I've heard all this so many times.
Honestly, why do they do it? Why are there any pilots here? You are a pilot. Why do you do it? Why do you boil us all? Who do you fly with? Etihad. How hot are the planes? Well, there's a new rule. I'm warning you. I'm seriously warning you on this one. You land, if it's gone over 68 in the cabin, straight to prison for 50 years.
Can I also say, since you're in here, no, it's worth pointing this out. Since you're in here, when we're all trying to sleep, don't come on and tell us the outside temperature is 57 below zero, because we don't give a toss.
No, we don't.
Right? Because you can't open
All we
the
care
window
about
anyway.
is temperature in the plane.
Just a few rules.
Anyway, let's move it on. Shall we get back onto some cars?
Yeah, travel.
Well, sort of travel-related stuff. OK. I've got a photograph here of Britain's idea of infrastructure investment, OK? This is in Cambridge. It's a T-junction that they've designed for reasons known only to themselves to look like a roundabout.
Yeah, and let me guess, it cost 100 grand to do it.
No, it was £500,000, yes.
Of course it was, yeah.
£500,000 they charged the taxpayer for that.
For some paving slabs, which
Exactly.
is what that is.
Anyway, Dubai's idea of infrastructure investment is a little bit different, because what they're planning is this. It's called the Hyperloop. It's like a tube train, and it'll go from Dubai to Abu Dhabi, which is about 100 miles away, in 12 minutes.
12 minutes?
Wow. 12 minutes. That's how long that will take.
So how fast does it go?
500 miles an hour. I mean, that is just breathtaking.
That is something else.
It really is.
Well, hang on. Did you say it was 100 miles?
Yep.
It's going 100 miles at 500 miles an hour in 12 minutes. That means it accelerates to 500 miles an hour instantly.
Ooh, you're going to have trouble holding on to the drinks trolley at that, aren't you? God! When it sets off, you'll poo yourself, and then when it stops, you'll wee yourself at the end.
It's a reason. Are there any doctors here?
I'm just saying. It's not a medical argument. I'm just saying.
I'm not sure you're right. I think, well, think about Newton. If you set off, you'll poo yourself, yes, but when it slows down, you'll unpoo yourself, because everything has an equal and opposite reaction. I'm roughly right, aren't I? Any physicists here?
I think we should move on.
Yes, and on that terrible disappointment, it is time to end not just the show, but the entire series. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you all for coming. And we'll see you later in the year for more of this. Take care. Goodbye.